Music licensing reimagined.
Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up the sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing our limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving the mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers, and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Shanghai. We have Zhang Mingyang going against Johnny Walker, and we are here on a Monday. Needed an extra day to kind of recover a little bit. You know, lots of traveling, lots of drinking, lots of fun, and need an extra day to kind of look into these fights. But yeah, interesting card coming up this weekend. We have a card that I believe is starting at like 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, so that's happening. But yeah, Weezy, what is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Shanghai?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the week off more. You know, it's been a long 8-week stretch, and putting UFC Chicago at the 7th week of the 8-week stretch, like my voice still hasn't recovered. You know, I'm still a little bit tired. I'm still a little bit worn down. We went hard in the paint on Friday night. We went hard in the paint on Saturday night, and we had to wake up early on Sunday. So, yeah, it was worth it, man. It was definitely worth it. And I got to say, Brady, the UFC has to start coming to Chicago once a year.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here? You know, this is the 3rd or 4th largest city in this country. We had a sellout crowd there last night. How many people would you say, what percentage of that stadium would you say was full when we walked in there for the first fight of the night, Idris versus Morales?
It says like probably 75%.
Yeah. I mean, you look around at some of these Vegas cards. I mean, like Theo Von is the only person in the crowd, and it's an empty stadium. You know, like Chicago, we really showed up, man. And not only that, you know, it took a while to even just get into the arena and stuff like that. So, I feel like Chicago really showed out there. The crowd was packed. It was a sellout crowd there at the United Center. We got a great, you know, MMA fan base here in this city, and you know, we don't get a lot of Midwest cards. So I think we got to be doing it once a year here in Chicago. I don't think there's any excuse not to. So, but it was a great card. A lot of great action on that card, a lot of great knockouts, and I'm still recovering from it.
Yeah, every time I travel, it just takes me a couple of days to to recover. So, you know, typically when I'm traveling, I like there to be the week off right after, but they didn't do it for us this time. So, yeah, it took me a couple of days. I took 3 naps today. Like, how's that even possible? I don't think I've taken 3 naps the last year, but I took 3 naps today. Like, what's going on? What's going on? But yeah, it was a phenomenal time. I like Chicago. We got a steak Friday night. The steak was phenomenal. We got pizza before the fights. It was phenomenal, and it was a very fun time. The seats we had were incredible. So yeah, definitely could not complain. The only thing that sucks is waking up early, man. But I mean, what can you do? Yeah. What can you do?
Real life calls sometimes, and real life called, and we had to wake up early on Sunday, and I wasn't happy about it at all.
Yeah, it was brutal. And the TSA and then the United Airlines, they just take forever. It's like, we got everybody in the plane. Let's go. Let's fly. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Let's start flying. I don't get it, but I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick, Weezy. For the awesome, first time ever, I traveled on a plane, and I'm not sick. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, we had to push it back 24 hours. Hopefully everybody understands. Let's hit up the chat, see what you guys are saying here. We got Elijah One, first one in the building. What is up, Elijah One? I believe this was yesterday. We understand. We appreciate that. I got to hear how Chicago was for the Stat Diggers boys. Brady and Uncle Weezy linking up for the first time. It was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. Got to recover from those. Yeah, those Bud Light seltzers. They'll catch up to you. They'll definitely catch up to you. Chase Hooper, get some help. By the way, I did a get some help poll. We can kind of knock it out of the way right now. I guess the poll randomly closes after 24 hours. So I put it up last night. It closed after 24 hours. So we did get over 100 votes. So the options I put, Weezy, was Kai Ass Akura, emphasis on ass, Aaron Pico, Karine, Not a Killer Silva, and then Chase the Gooner Hooper. Out of those 4, who do you think the audience think needs help the most?
Well, I know who I voted for, and it was Kai Asakura. Losing as a -300 favorite to a 38-year-old flyweight that hadn't fought in a year and 8 months. I thought that might mean that you need some help.
Well, the votes are kind of crazy. In 4th place was Karine, Not a Killer Silva. She's not a killer anymore. 1% of votes, only 1%. I think that's
wow. Okay.
So she does not need any help. Aaron Pico, 17% of votes. Kai Asakura, 38% of votes. And then in first place of who needs to get some help, Chase the Gooner Hooper with 42%. And yeah, man, I mean, I heard an interview with Hooper last week, and it's like, yeah, I get to go out there and test my striking. What do you mean you get to test out your striking? What do you mean you're going to test out your striking, Chase? What do you mean? And he tested it out, and it looked awful. I mean, it looked really bad. He was doing spinning back fists that missed by a mile and got knocked out with about a second left. So Chase the Gooner Hooper, get some help, quit gooning, and work on your striking, work on your wrestling. And enough gooning. Enough's enough. Let's knock it off. Chase Hooper shaved my ass like Tim Elliott shaved his beard. He did shave his beard. Elliott cleaned up really nice. Get some help. Yeah, I could have put Drigas as well. I could have put Drigas on there. I probably should have. Edson Barbosa needs some help. He's probably wobbling around right now as we speak. I mean, anytime something touches this guy's shin, he's just getting hurt. Come on, Brady. We needed those extra 24 hours. We needed them for sure. Kai Asakura is awful. Get some help. Chase cost me massively. Yeah, it was bad. Did we get the date? No, we didn't get the date wrong there. No show tonight. They're a day late. Colton G definitely. Luckily, I didn't run into Colton G or his goons, which was
we didn't need that, man. We didn't need that. I think Colton G's goons just knocked out my camera, Brady. I don't know what's going on here.
Probably did.
Dude, are they here? I don't know what's going on.
Well, let's give a big shout out to Jason Herzog. How about this? 3 appearances at UFC 319, 3 stoppages, and 3 bets cashed for me. Jason Herzog cashed me 3 separate bets. So big shout out to Jason Herzog. Jace Herzog is finally stopping fights. Shout out to him. We got Cedricus Dumas in the building. I can't read that, Cedricus. Get some help. Work on your writing. Go back to high school. Is Cedricus Dumas Jamaican? I don't know what he is. Get some help. Kai Asakura. Yeah, get some help. How did that hangover treat you, fella? It was like a 2-day hangover.
It's still treating me.
might last a week, to be honest. Not a minute late. Never. We're never late. We're never late. We got Low T City Ortega with a $13.99 saying respect to Jason Herzog. I thought he would try and help Hooper and Neal up to their feet as he historically does at the end of a round rather than stop the fight. Hope you guys had a blast. Appreciate you, Low T City Ortega. Yeah, in the past, Herzog would actually help Hooper up and carry him to the corner, but he said that the fight's over, which, it kind of shocked me. Hernandez fought a good fight in Fight IQ and kept it standing. Yes, he did. We got Dixon Sider in the building. What is up, Dixon? Good to see you. Salty Baldiv fight week. Yes. Brady, did you and Yiza get to hang out with Angel Reese? No, I don't believe so.
No.
We get Mike James. Yeah, Mike James reposted the stream. Appreciate you, Mike James. Appreciate you. Sounds like UFC Chicago was done right. It was absolutely done right. Brian Battle needs the most help. Yeah, Brian Battle does need help. Came back up a weight class and still missed weight by 5 pounds. Green needs help. Apparently Green couldn't walk. Got hurt so bad he couldn't even walk and make it to the cage. So yeah, Green might need some help.
Wow.
75% full in the early prelims. Respect to Chicago. Didn't know they were built like that. Yeah, it was kind of shocking. You never see that. When I'm going to cards in Vegas and show up for the first fight of the night, there's nobody there. 20%, 25% of people are there in Vegas. But yeah, Chicago people were there. I was like, what's going on? That's crazy. That's awesome. Pick yourself up by the teats. Okay. How many hours of sleep? Okay, so we went to Saturday night, went to bed at 3 or 4 and got up at 8. It's horrible.
I went to bed at 5.
Oh,
Me and Avery were up chopping it up, and then we both came in, looked at the clock on the stove, and we were like, "What just happened?" It was like 5:15, and I was we gotta go to bed, man. So we woke up at 10. So yeah, 5 hours of sleep on night 1. Night 2, about 5 hours of sleep. So it was rough. It was rough, and then I spent all day on Sunday because I was behind doing the stats. They wouldn't have even been ready for last night's show. I would have had to leave like 3 fights off.
Hey, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. City Boy proposed to the stream. Appreciate you, City Boy. Has Aaron Pico Graham woken up yet? Has he woken up yet? I'm not sure.
Man, dude, him and Jeff Neal got absolutely nuked.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys get to meet any fighters by any chance? Did we see any fighters? I don't think so.
No, I don't remember seeing any fighters.
Yeah,
they all had the floor seats, and everybody was there. Tracy Cortez was there.
Yeah,
Rhaenyra Ritter was there. Anthony Hernandez was there. Kyle Bahayo was there. I saw Bilal Muhammad came in. It was a good amount of fighters there. I didn't get to see any of them personally, though, which was kind of a bummer.
Yeah. We didn't get to see any, but yeah, it was funny. I was sitting there and I started hearing a ton of booing, and I'm like, "What's everybody booing at?" And then the guy next to me says, "Oh, Bilal just walked in." I'm like, "Isn't Bilal from Chicago?" Like everybody was booing Bilal Muhammad.
I was like, "Come on, man!" I was cheering. I want to stay for the record that I was cheering when Bilal came in. I don't know what that was all about. I mean, Rahm Emanuel was in the arena. Why weren't they booing his ass? You're gonna boo Bilal Muhammad, but you're gonna let Rahm Emanuel in there unscathed. Come on, Chicago, you could do better than that.
Yeah, I was like, really? That's what they're booing at? We got Jai Herbert's left leg reposted the stream. Appreciate you, Jai Herbert's left leg. Let's see. Sounds like a great time. It definitely was a great time. Homeless Tim Elliott beating the face of Risen at 38 was not on my bingo card. Yeah,
me neither.
Not at all. Not at all. Dr. Peener was there front row. Wasn't he like the cage side doctor?
I hope so. And if he was the cage side doctor, how come we didn't get better seats? That would have been, if he's the cage side doctor, we should be sitting up there with Tracy Cortez and the rest of the crew.
Exactly. But we're going to do a quick recap of UFC 319 here. And yeah, what a card. Like I was watching the card, and up until like after the co-main event, I'm like, man, this could be card of the year. I mean, this card is perfect. All we need is the main event to be exciting. And this is one of the best cards, if not the best card of the year. And then the main event kind of dropped the ball. But yeah, other than that, I thought pretty much every single fight on the card was fun and exciting outside of the main event and that Karina Silva fight. So I'll talk about my losses first. I had a loss on the Karina Silva inside the distance. Was a plus 270. And man, it wasn't close, but at the same time, like it was close. Like that third round, she had that Darce like fully locked in. I could have swore she was going to get it, but Barbosa got out of it. But yeah, Karina Killer Silva, I just didn't see any killer instinct. It kind of took her a long time to get going. She had 2 submission attempts officially, but I just didn't see any really killer instinct out of her. So I think she needs to kind of lose that nickname if she's going to fight like that going forward. She was able to get the win in a very close fight, but yeah, missed on the inside the distance there. I had 1.25 units on Asakura inside the distance, and I really can't believe it. Somebody said it just a second ago. I can't believe that Kai Asakura lost to Tim Elliott, who's 38 years old, showed up on fight week looking like a hippie. Looks like he's been living on the street for the last 2 years. It looked like he got back with Gina Mazzani. He posted a video. Looked like that was Gina in the video. Hadn't fought in 2 years. And Kai Asakura goes out there and just looks awful. I mean, just looks awful, and Elliott kind of let him off the hook. Like Elliott barely wrestled, but when Elliott did wrestle, he had success, getting those takedowns and subbed him. Tim Elliott subbed him. So was definitely not expecting that and wasn't expecting that at all. I had a half unit shot on Michael Page by knockout. I don't mind that. So they didn't officially credit him with 2 knockdowns, but we were there watching Weezy, and he knocked him down twice. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he kind of let him off the hook a little bit, but that's Michael Page. He's going to play with this food. So we dropped him and kind of, taunted him a little bit, but didn't mind the KO prop. I think that was plus 450. What else? And then I had the Hamzat early props and the Drikas late props, which was just a horrible read, apparently. Apparently, Hamzat Chimaev has 25-minute cardio. But, yeah, Drikas also didn't make Hamzat work at all, and Hamzat was able to go out there and kind of do whatever he wants. So, yeah, those were the losses. The wins, I had my biggest bet of the card was on the fight doesn't go to decision for the Hernandez-Hooper fight at minus 130. I had 2.5 units on that. Yeah, I like that spot quite a bit, and the fight kind of played out how I expected. I thought if Hernandez was winning the fight, it would have been a first-round knockout, which, by the way, was plus 1,600. And if he was not able to get that first-round knockout, I kind of thought that Hooper might, take over down the stretch, and, Hernandez has fallen apart in the past. But I kind of feel lucky to hit that fight as a go, because I don't know. Hooper did not have any success really whatsoever, and I'm not sure it would have changed round 2, round 3, but we don't know. Herzog stopped the fight and cashed my biggest bet of the night. I had 4 units total on the Mikhail Olazechuk Gerald Meerschaert fight. I had 2 units on the under 1.5 at minus 125-ish, and then I had 2 units on a 2-leg parlay. The fight won't start round 3. Parlayed with the fight won't start round 3 in the Susarkayev Nolan fight. So, yeah, that Mikhail fight finishing under 1.5 was a massive hit. I was also looking at Mikhail KO1, which was plus 250, plus 260. Didn't get on that, but that kind of made my night right there. What else? Oh, I had the Michael Page KO decision double chance minus 175 for 2 units. I wish I went heavier on that. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat Michael Page in a fight that takes place on the feet. And Cannonier was able to win that 3rd round, but Page did enough in the 1st and 2nd to win the fight. And 29-28, pretty easy fight to score. I had the fight ends by knockout in the Prochas-Neal fight. That one was fun to cash because Prochas knocked him out brutally with a spinning back elbow with 1 second left. Jason Herzog steps in, stops the fight, cashes me another bet. Shout out to Jason Herzog there. And then the last win I had of the night was the Lerone Murphy plus 3.5 point spread, minus 150. Somebody in my Discord, Mac, shouted it out. I'm like, wow, I kind of like that, minus 150. And I was thinking, like, yeah, worst case scenario, I mean, Murphy can win a round against this guy. Just needs to win a round. And best case scenario, he can go out there and maybe show that there are levels to this. And yeah, Pico was looking pretty decent early. The good pressure, was able to mix in some takedowns, landing some solid shots, and then ran into a spinning back elbow. So the plus 3.5 cash there. So up about 3 units for UFC 319. If I had like even a couple of these plus money sprinkles cash, like Karina Silva gets the sub, or Page gets that knockout, or if Asakura, shows the hell up. I mean, it could have been a massive night. But yeah, happy with how things went. I thought the card was amazing. Like I said, outside of the main event, outside of the Karina Silva fight, I thought the card was pretty flawless and pretty fun. Did really well on DraftKings. I think I got like 17th place. I just needed Lupi Godinez to complete a few more takedowns for an even bigger win. So that was good. But yeah, all in all, it was a pretty solid card, I'd say.
Yeah, that was a great card. We had such a good time. And I mean, like, the main card was just pretty fire all the way up and down until we got to the main event, which was boring, but a dominant performance by Hamzat. I lost 1.41 units on the night. And, Brady, I picked 4 underdogs to win. I bet on Dricus du Plessis and Jessica Andrade, who both lost. And I didn't bet on Drakkar Klose and Lerone Murphy, who I both picked to win. So I'm like pulling the wrong levers. I should have won money if I had just played all the underdogs that I picked to win. I lost a unit on Karine Silva inside the distance. Man, I thought she had that choke there late in the fight. I took a half unit shot on Meerschaert to win by submission because, that was going to be his path if he did win the fight. And at plus 430, it was way better than his money line at plus 170. So I took the shot on that. I thought that was a pretty good play, but it didn't cash. Obviously, he got nowhere close to subbing him, but you get that kind of a number in that type of a stylistic matchup. I think it's worth playing. And then I hit the probability parlay, which was Karine Silva to win, Michael Venom Page to win, and the under 1.5 for the Oleksiejczuk fight. That was at plus 309 for 1 unit. So hit that for 3.09 units. But yeah, it was a weird week because I had fallen behind a little bit, And, then we were at 12 fights, then it went to 13, then it was up to 14, then it was up to 15, then back down to 14, back down to 13, back down to 12. And with all that kind of stuff, putting the new stat sheets together and stuff, I just didn't even feel like making more bets and writing them up, and I should have, because there were some spots that I would have been on that would have made this a winning week. But it was a winning week, Brady, because we got to get together. We got to enjoy the fights. We got ripped. We were getting free drinks. I mean, like, it was crazy how good of a time we had. Our seats were awesome, by the way. Last row of the first bowl section there of section 107. Great sight lines to the cage. Great sight lines to the big screens. And it was just a phenomenal event to be at live. So that was really worth going to. I could care less about the track bets for 1 week. It was just great getting to the octagon, seeing it there with you guys, man. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I've sat on the floor in San Antonio. I've sat, in the nosebleeds before. I've sat pretty much everywhere at a card, but I think those seats are probably my favorite. I thought that was just the perfect spot.
Yeah,
section 107, great view to the cage, great view of that live big screen as well. I really enjoyed those seats. That was awesome. Chat, we're gonna need some more if you guys have not liked the video, please be sure to get those likes up. It is always much appreciated. Gerald Mearshart needs to he might need to get some help. How many likes for a Garbrandt face tat? We'll do 250. I think that sounds fair.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys have a good view? Sometimes lower bowl seats suck when the top of the cage is at head level. Yeah, like I said, I think they're probably my favorite seats ever. Ryan Suck, we were in section 112. Yeah, we were pretty close. I think we're in 107. Can't believe we didn't see you guys. Yeah, that was a couple sections over, man. Let's see. I thought I saw Tim Elliott sitting outside Dollar General last week. I thought so too. Did you guys get to see Jessica Andrade's Kitty live at all? I did not get to see it.
Not live, no, but we were there live. We watched that fight live. She had a good third round, but Loopy's boxing looked great in the first and the second.
Yeah, that was a great fight. That was a fun fight, that Loopy Andrade fight. We got Mai Shi with a 199. Don't appreciate you, Mai Shi, saying the two goats, F. Asakura and Chase Hooper. And I would tend to agree, especially with Asakura. I mean, Asakura bit me in the ass. At least with Hooper, I had the fight doesn't go, so it's like, we got knocked out, and it cashed me a bet, but it's like, dang, I mean, I don't get it. Andrade brought sexy back with that haircut. Yeah, it looked like she maybe dyed her hair a little bit as well. New hair color. I enjoyed it. Yes, got the perm going on. Absolutely. I always find it weird when we go to a card where a certain fighter would have his best chances and you get the best out of him, like Asakura on next week's card. We were on section 122. I dominated the whole card personally. Kai moneyline and Hooper finish would have been epic. Yeah, if Kai would have finished, it would have been freaking awesome. Wheezy Brady, over under 30 and a half years at the UFC event. Did you bring $1,000? Luckily, we didn't. But I got my first. I arrived there. I got my first beer. It was $27. $27. Yeah. I got a Modelo, and I go up to the guy standing there, and he's like, "You want me to leave a tip?" I was like, "Sure, dude." And it was $27, unless he left a big tip. But I think it was like $20 a beer. Just ridiculous.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable.
So luckily we were getting free drinks. We probably saved over $100 easy. At
least.
So thank goodness for that. Yeah, no hookers. No hookers. Dudes provide MMA. Reposted the stream. Shout to you. That's 4 reposts on X.
There we go.
Pretty dang good. We got Dr. Peener in the building. Sorry, guys, I was supposed to be the attending physician, but the women's fights were so exciting. I had a cardiac event and had to ask Bilal for permission to lay down on the bag. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see here. Missed you last week, Wheezy.
Yeah, I took the week off of my YouTube channel. Like I said, fell a little bit behind, and then when you guys were coming into town, it was just like, okay, I've got to get some rest and do all the rest of the stuff. So yeah, I didn't do a free show this week.
The Karina Silva really, if they're scoring fights based off of damage and submission attempts, I'd say so. But it was a very, very close fight. Yeah. We got Marcus Williams with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Marcus. And yeah, he was all over it. 5,000 on the Roe Murphy at plus 145. Easy money. Pico is overrated. I think Pico will be back, but it's like, geez, I think that's his 5th finish loss. Aaron Pico, 5th finish loss.
Yeah. He's been finishing all 5 of his losses, and he's been priced as a favorite in every single one of his fights. Up until the UFC, Brady, the cheapest you could have ever gotten him, I believe, was minus 250 area against Adam Boric. So the guy has just been, like absolutely loved by the betting markets. They've bid his price up to unbettable, and his skill set has been criminally overrated by the betting markets in relation to the performances in the cage.
Yeah, and he was looking good, but I mean, he ran right into that elbow, man.
Yeah, he was looking great. There's no doubt about that, Brady. He was off to a great start and looking phenomenal, and he got caught with a nuclear bomb.
Braylon reposted the stream as well. Appreciate you, Braylon. How did you get free drinks? So we were sitting with the dude that got us tickets, Austin. Got us some solid tickets there. I think it was his friend that was a bartender there.
Yep.
And so we were able to get free drinks throughout the night.
This guy's going to take care of you. You take care of him. That's Chicago talk for give big tips, and yeah, we did that.
Yeah. So that was awesome. All right. What else do we need to touch on here? Okay. So last week, the Stat Diggers parlay. Leg number 1, Michael Venom Page. Check. Leg number 2, Chase the Gooner Hooper. Not check. Chase the Gooner Hooper lets us down. The Stat Diggers parlay goes up in flames. On a high note, the on-site piping of the week was Mikhail Olazechuk to pipe GM3 on-site at UFC 319. Oh, good heavens. And oh, good heavens was correct. Mikhail Olazechuk come out there with a phenomenal game plan. He dropped Gerald Mearshart and he let him back up. He said, get back up. Get back up. We're not doing this. Because he learned it. He learned in the Holland fight, right? And then he hurts him again, and then he gets on top, and he has that ground and pound. And we were talking about at the fights, Weezy. That was like his 4th ground and pound victory. He TKO'd Dumas. He TKO'd Sheedy. He TKO'd Brundage. If Miguel gets on top of you, your head will get pounded through the canvas. So shout out to Mikhail Olazechuk for piping up Gerald Mearshart on site. Oh, good heavens. And now the milking of the week. Oh, God. The Stat Diggers milking of the week was Chase, the Gooner Hooper, to milk Alexander, the Great Ape, Hernandez. Oh, goodness me. And oh, goodness me was correct. Like I said, I heard an interview with Hooper throughout the week saying he was so excited. I get to test out my striking. Do you? Do you get to test out your striking? Why are you testing it out? I think they officially credited him with like 1 takedown, but it was so half-assed. He shot from like 10 feet out. Other than that, he was testing out that striking, and he got caught, and Herzog stopped the fight shortly after. So, yeah, we got to get back on track with the milking. The piping was about as good as it could be, and then we got to get back on track with the Stat Diggers parlay of the week. I love a big tip. Yeah, big tips are solid.
Heyo.
Big tips are solid. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, too much gooning. Yeah. Gooning is not a great base for MMA. Could you guys hear Pico snoring from your seats? No, but what I do remember hearing was the elbow that Carlos Praches landed on Jeff Neal. Like that, you could hear it so vividly. Like it just throughout the whole arena, you could hear that elbow land. I felt bad for Jeff Neal. I thought he might have died. Just brutal. But yeah, so let's shout out the sponsors of the show. And we're going to shout out to our guy, Avery. Yes. None other than Avery for sponsoring the show, guys. Go give him a follow. MMA_Very on X. We got to meet up with Avery in Chicago. Great guy, cool guy, awesome guy, just as awesome in person as he is online. So shout out to Avery. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show. And shout out to my wife for also sponsoring the show, guys. Go to herbalmakings.com and use code StatDiggers for 10% off your entire order. And she's not too happy. You know, the first week we shouted her out, and we had 4 people, you know, get some products from her for, you know, the wife, the girlfriend. Last week, nobody got anything. So I didn't get to have sex all of last week. All of last week, no sex. Just get something. I mean, it's like $10. Let me have sex. Please. For the love of God, let me have some sex. All right, Wheezy. Let's get into UFC Shanghai. What do you say?
Let's do it, man. UFC Shanghai. I've been calling it UFC China. So, yeah, maybe I'll have to change it to Shanghai. But, yeah, good enough.
Same thing. Yeah. Right? 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning.
That's
3 o'clock in the morning.
It's a bit late.
Yeah, I'm going to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch Urine Salty Baldiv versus DR Nurgozhay. But, yeah, we got Salty Baldiv going against Nurgozhay. We got Salty Baldiv. He is 31 years old, 6'4", with a 79-inch reach. Nurgozhay, he's 28 years old, 6'2", with a 74-inch reach. Nurgozhay, he's 3 years younger. It's going to be Salty Baldiv with a 2-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. Salty Baldiv made his debut against Martin Buday, lost that fight by decision. The fight was, you know, a lot more competitive than I kind of thought it would be. That was actually the fight, Wheezy, where Kennedy Nzechukwu pulled out, and we were concerned about him. And I'm like, what's going on? He pulled out against Martin Buday, and then in stepped Salty Baldiv on short notice and performed, you know, admirably in that fight. Lost the decision, but that fight was pretty close. As far as DR Nurgozhay, he lost to Brenson Hibero by second round submission. It was the fight where he missed weight by like 5 pounds. He showed up. It looked like he didn't train for the fight, and then he showed up to the fight, and he had just looked awful. I mean, he looked really bad. The cardio looked bad. He got submitted by it was just a horrible look. So, yeah, this is a fight that I'm not too excited about, you know, putting any money on. But, you know, you got to imagine that, you know, Nurgozhay, there was a lot of hype on this guy before the Ribeiro fight. People were excited about this guy. I was somewhat excited about this guy. And then he went out there and pulled a stinker in his debut. But how many times have we seen people go out there in their debut and kind of shit the bed? So now he's an underdog to Urine Salty Baldiv. So it's kind of disgusting, but this has got to be dog or pass, right?
I mean, when you see that big of a shift, and, you know, I guess that this would be a good time to maybe listen to a couple interviews with this guy and find out what happened going into that fight, because it's the biggest fight of your life. You've never missed weight in your career. And then you come in 4.5 pounds heavy, and he's clearly not a guy that it's like, oh, there was just no more fat to cut. You know, like he could easily make 205 if he's in the proper shape that an MMA fighter needs to be in. So I just thought it was interesting that, you know, maybe there was some kind of a story as to why he didn't make weight. Maybe he wasn't 100%. Maybe he was injured. Maybe he had some, you know, just some health issues. Maybe he was a little bit sick on fight week or something. So, because prior to that, I mean, he's good. Like, even some of these names that he's beating on the regional scene are decent names. You know, he was the Eagle FC light heavyweight champion. He got a win over Emiliano Sordi in UAE Warriors. Beats Bartosz Secek in on Dana White's Contender Series with a beautiful head kick. He can wrestle. Everything that comes from his left side, Brady, is really good. Left head kick, left body kick, left uppercut, overhand left. All of those weapons can knock you out. But if you go back and you watch that Brenson Ribeiro fight, hopefully Urine Salty Baldiv's coaches saw what Brenson Ribeiro did, which was really just very simple. Dominic Cruz pointed it out in that fight, was that he just kept moving to Nurgozhay's right. And Nurgozhay doesn't have any fucking weapons coming from his right side. His jab is dog shit. He doesn't have a good right hook. He never kicks with his right leg. So Ribeiro was just moving to his left and picking him apart. He dropped him in the first round. And then when DR went to wrestle in the second round, DR got a he got a Kimura on DR's weak arm, the right arm. So it goes to show you, DR is kind of a one-sided fighter. He's going to get his offense from his left side, and if you take that away from him, his volume goes way down, and he looks quite ordinary because he's already not throwing a lot of volume, and he's not the highest volume wrestler to begin with either. So I think that these guys are really well matched, actually. I don't think, and frankly, I don't think either one of these guys is very good. You know, Salty Baldiv blocks punches with his face. He's got no defense at all. He's extremely hittable. So there's a good chance that DR might be able to knock this dude out. But, you know, I mean, I guess we're going to have to wait to see this cat on the scale. Because I don't know what the hell happened last time, Brady. But that's the biggest fight of your life. Why are you coming in missing weight by 4.5 pounds? So I'd like to hear maybe what the story is behind that.
Yeah, man. It was just bad. I remember how I had him in a something with him in a parlay or something stupid. And he showed up at weigh-ins. I'm like, really? And I was praying they would call the fight off because it looked like he didn't train for the fight. He just looked so bad on the scale. And then that translated to the performance in the cage. He looked really bad in the cage as well. So I don't know. I would be shocked if I had any money on if I had money on this fight, Weezy, and I stayed up till 3:00 and it went tits up. I don't know what I would do. Probably heat up the oven. 350.
The sign that says "No funeral." Put it on your back so they know. Oh god, yeah. I mean, like that would feel real bad. This is a greasy ass fight because neither one of these guys is very good. You're gonna have to lay juice on one of them, and if you take the dog, you're taking a guy that's coming off of a career worst performance. So you are probably getting a discount. And if he does bounce back and look good, you know, it could look like a good play. Maybe this is dog or pass. I don't know because Sati Baldi, I mean, from what I've seen on tape of the guy, I don't want to lay juice on this guy at this level because he's just entirely too hittable.
And he doesn't really throw much.
He throws more than Nurgozhay does. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
right now. Dude, Nurgozhay touches his own face more than he throws punches.
I know. If he stopped touching his face so much and threw a jab and stayed, this guy'd be high volume.
Exactly.
He hit himself in the face 50 times.
I know, man. It's frustrating to watch because you can tell it's a nervous tick. Because if you watch some of the earlier tape on him, he touches his face maybe once or twice around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the UFC level against Seszek on Dana White's Contender Series and in the Sorty fight, you see that tick is happening every 2 or 3 seconds. He's touching himself, and that's not a good thing at this level.
It's not.
You should not be doing that. I'm not an expert on boxing, but I'm pretty sure no coaches will tell you a nervous tick is going to be the key in order to get your timing off. It's not. It's not going to help you at all. And like I said, I'm not an expert.
Yeah, no, I would tend to agree with that statement, man. They sound like a home run. Yeah, the Jeff Neal elbow sound like a home run. How did Andrade's feet look like? And we got Dr. Piener Jr. in the building.
Yeah.
Couldn't really. I wasn't really looking, to be honest.
I want to say worth the price of admission.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who's making these accounts? I don't know. I really.
They've been made by Dr. Piener and Dr. Piener Jr., who's like the Doogie Howser of ICU urology.
There we go. Oh, geez. Let's see. Urine fight week. Yeah, what do they call him? Urine because he beats the piss out of people?
Yep. And I mean, like, I remember I was saying to you, like, who the hell names their kid Urine? You know, and you're like, it's a nickname. They call him Urine because he beats the piss out of people. And I'm like, you know what? That tracks.
It does track.
Yeah.
DR touching his face is a fight inside a fight. I can't stand it. I will take Urine. Yeah. You don't love to see it. How drunk were you guys when you left the fight Saturday night, Sunday morning? Not too drunk. Not too drunk.
Yeah, I was drunk.
Like we were still able to walk type thing. We got Dawes saying, do you ship to Australia? I'm pro Brady fucking if you ship to Australia. Not yet, Dawes. So only US as of now, but we're gonna work on trying to get out to other countries and all that stuff in the hopefully in the near future. He'd be better if he was Nurgozhay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fight ends by a KO or will this go over? So the over under is set at 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 130. The under 2.5 is plus 100. I kind of think it just goes over because to finish a fight, you got to throw something. Neither of these guys really throw anything. So I kind of lean over, but I doubt I have any money on this fight. Really awkward moment on the Die Hard about the tick. What was it on the Die Hard? I haven't watched it yet. All right.
You were taking your third nap.
I was taking my third nap. How do you take 3 naps in a day? That has to be a new record.
Dude, I watched 3 things today that I don't remember at all. I just sat with a blank, vacant stare on my face in front of a TV that was doing different things. So, yeah, man, trust me, jeez. I'm not at my best either.
Yeah, I needed a couple days to recover still. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We got Long Zhao going against Su Young Yu. We got Long Zhao, who's 27 years old, 5'8" with a 70-inch reach. Yu is 29 years old, 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. We got Long Zhao, who's 2 years younger, 2-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. Long Zhao 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Went out there and knocked out Kwang Lee in his last fight. Prior to that, lost a split decision against Chung Ho Lee, which is aging, pretty well because that fight was very competitive. Arguably could have went to him. As far as Su Young Yu, he fought AJ Cunningham in his last fight, won that fight by decision. I think that was another China card as well. But yeah, this should be an interesting fight. Su Young Yu, I think they call him a Jiu-Jitsu, right? Very solid grappler, looking to get the fight down to the ground, pretty high level on the mat. But yeah, Long Zhao, he's a lot better than I kind of thought he was. Like that fight versus Chung Ho Lee was, in hindsight, I think that's going to age very well with how close and competitive that was. And then knocking out Kwang Lee, like that's not a bad look at all. So I think these guys are pretty solid, actually, pretty solid prospects. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, they're both on the right side of 30, Brady. And I mean, like Zhao Long's got 36 professional fights and he's only 27 years old. So, I mean, maybe he's getting one of those shady ass birth certificates that you might see passing around certain areas of China, maybe in the Jindu province, but Su Young Yu, coming from a country that's has a lot more integrity when it comes to birth certificates. He's 15-3. I'm trusting the fact that he's 29 years old. But these guys are well matched. I mean, I think they're both really good fighters, and they both got great records to the submission. We got Su Young Yu 5-0 to the submission. Zhao Long's 9-0 to the submission, and I think they're both really well-rounded fighters. I like Zhao Long's anti-grappling. I mean, he just keeps getting up. If you take him down, he'll hurt you with elbows while you're trying to take him down. He can reverse and get on top and land good ground and pound from those positions. And he's got really good cardio, dude. The guy stays extremely busy, offensively wrestling, defensively wrestling, pressuring forward, throwing output. And, I mean, he's a pretty durable guy, too. He has been knocked out 3 times, but if you look at when those happened in his career, it's all, a pretty long time ago. And like you say, man, dude, he's won 18 of his last 20 fights. And one of those losses was to Chang Ho Lee. I had a bet on Chang Ho Lee that fight that cashed, that I felt like I got pretty lucky to cash it, So I think this guy's fighting at a really high level right now. He's going to be really difficult to run away with a fight with. And Yu is like a minus 130 favorite here. He's probably the cleaner fighter with his boxing, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu. But Zhao Long, man, he just keeps coming, dude. He's very efficient in the grappling exchanges of his fights, and that's going to help because Su Young Yu stays very busy with his wrestling, and he's winning 98% of the control time positions over his 2 UFC fights. So he's getting takedowns. And he's staying on top, and he's doing a little bit of damage from the top position. So I'd say that Zhao Long had the tougher fights at this level so far, and he's got more pro experience. He's the younger fighter. He's the taller fighter. He's the longer fighter. And I think that like a lot of the stuff that he just does, the way that he fights, I think it looks pretty good optically, because even though he lost the decision to Chang Ho Lee, he won a couple other close decisions on road to UFC by kind of like landing the bigger shots, by by not allowing pure grapplers to get too much grappling success. So I think this is one of the most fun fights on the card, actually. This is probably the one I'll try to stay up until before I go to bed, because I think Long Zhao is really fun to watch. And at only 27 years old with 36 professional fights, the way that I've been seeing him fighting lately, I think he's a fun prospect. So, yeah, maybe Zhao Long at plus money isn't the worst look this week.
Yeah, and I think he's gotten a lot better, because I remember watching that Christian Quinones fight on Dana White's Contender Series like 4 years ago. He didn't look too great, to be honest, but he looks a lot better now. So yeah, and that's expected. I mean, the dude's only 27. That's expected out of a younger guy. And yeah, he's looking really good as of late. And I think Su Young Yu, he's looking pretty good as well. You know, able to wrestle, grappling's really slick as well. So yeah, I think one of the more intriguing fights on the card, actually, and one of the closer line fights on the card. We got Su Young Yu, who opened up minus 170. He's currently minus 135. And Long Zhao opening up plus 145, currently plus 115 there. And then the over is probably juiced. Yeah, my over 2.5 minus 300. Under 2.5 is plus 240 there.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Brady. Minus 300 for a Zhao Long fight. I know he's been to decision a lot. He's been to decision in 19 of his 36 professional fights. But this dude's out there trying to kill you. Yeah. You know, so I mean, I would much rather play the under in this fight than lay minus 300 on the over. It doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hefty price tag to pay for that over for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Weston Wilson fight week. Let's go. Let's go. Harder one to pick. Poor Weston Wilson and Darce Knight fight week. Who's the Is that Kyle Daukaus?
First, that is Kyle Daukaus. Yes, Kyle Daukaus, the Darce Knight.
Is Weston Wilson a chump? I wouldn't say so.
No,
I wouldn't say he's a chump. Let's see. We got Dixon saying, "Welcome everyone joining us now. Don't forget to hit the like button. Appreciate you, Dick. Appreciate you moderating the chat as well. Appreciate that." Let's see here. Zhao could potentially be milking of the week. Does a body good? Yeah, milk does do a body good. Poor Weston Wilson. Poor Weston Wilson. Poor Weston Wilson. Poor Weston Wilson. Okay, there we go. We got Michelle Pereira fight week. Speaking of milking of the night, what do you mean? Speaking of milking of the night? Oh, next fight. Okay, we'll get to that. Weston Wilson is Hooper with CTE. Okay, dang. Okay, all right. Yeah, let's move on to the next fight. And we got Yiza going against Weston Wilson. We got Yiza, 28 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. Weston Wilson, 36 years old, 6'1" with a 73-inch reach. We got Yiza, 8 years younger. It's going to be Weston Wilson with a 6-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. Yiza is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Gabriel Santos, lost that fight by decision. Also lost the decision in, I think it was the road to UFC finale against Jung Young Lee. Lost that by decision. That was a close fight, though. As far as Weston Wilson, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Joe Anderson Brito, got knocked out in the first round, got knocked out by Gene Silva in the first round, and then submitted Jeka Seregi in the first round. So, yeah, I mean, this is a weird one here, because it's like, I am not high on Yiza at all, but he's like minus 1,400. He's the biggest favorite on the card by a mile, and it's like, I don't think this guy's that great by any means whatsoever. But, you know, he's taken on Weston Wilson. But, you know, typically with Weston Wilson, if I am going to line a guy minus 1,000 against him, it's a guy that has, you know, a lot of knockout power, you know, like Gene Silva, Joe Anderson Brito. Yiza is more like a grappler, and Yiza has some power on the feet, but in a lot of his fights, he's kind of grappling. So that's kind of going to play into, you know, where Weston Wilson wants to be. I think someone he gets served here first and foremost. I'd be kind of shocked if this fight left the first round, you know, first round and a half. The under 1.5 is juiced for a featherweight fight. We typically don't see unders, you know, at like minus 170. Like, that's ridiculous. But, you know, we know what's going to happen. It's a Weston Wilson fight. Somebody's probably going to die here. But yeah, Yiza minus 1,200. I just can't get there. I think he wins. I think he finishes. But he's just not a minus 1,200 fighter. I don't care who he's fighting. He's not a minus 1,200 guy to me, in my opinion. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that Yiza is minus 1,200 to do is to come out with a shitty haircut and bad hair dye. You know, I mean, like, let's face it. I've bet on this guy before, you know, I mean, and he's coming off a loss against Gabriel Santos. We can absolutely forgive that. Gabriel Santos is a bona fide killer, but I mean, why are we putting Weston Wilson here? Because he lost to Gene Silva and Joe Anderson Brito. You know what those guys would do to Yiza?
Oh,
they probably wouldn't even be able to leave China, because like the Chinese authorities would probably arrest them for killing their best prospect in the featherweight division right now, because that's what both of those guys would do to Yiza. So, I mean, I don't know how you get to minus 1,200 here. Brady, can I interest you in Weston Wilson to win by first round submission at plus 3,300?
I mean, that's hilarious because that's literally his money line. Like, if he's going to win, that's how it happens. And he's going to go for it too. So
they're going to grapple here, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's like, yeah, Yiza's 13-1 to the submission, but can you name one guy with a pulse that he's ever submitted? Who would you? Is it Gia Hefu, Wuziazabeke? Wuzizabeke. I mean, like, that's probably the guy that, I mean, maybe it's Kai Wen Lee. I don't know who the hell any of these people are. You know, I mean, who the hell are these people? You know, at least Weston Wilson's been in there against some recognizable names on the American regional scene. He's got a really tricky style to deal with at distance striking range with that bladed stance, bouncing up and down on his toes, kind of like that point fighting, kick-heavy style that he brings. And then he's very tricky on the ground as well. I mean, this is easily dog or pass. And I think you can, you know, play some big plus money looks here. I mean, I don't care where this fight is. I don't care if it's in China. Just because this is in China, it doesn't make Yiza any like a good fighter by UFC standards, that is. So I don't know, man. This is extremely wide. And Weston Wilson's a tricky fighter, so maybe there's some value on the underdog here.
Yeah, until he dies, but yeah, I mean, you just can't lay minus 1,200 on Yiza. I mean, if you want to be my guest, 12 units to win one, but I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, under 1.5 minus 170. I think that should hit, man. Minus 170 for a featherweight fight. I mean, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting. And I mean, like, Yiza's got an average fight time of 7.5 minutes, and at the UFC level, he's got an average fight time of 15 minutes. So I don't know if he's a finisher at this level. Is he?
Maybe against Wilson, but
maybe against Wilson. Yeah. And I mean, against road to UFC guys, he can get them out of there, you know, but I just don't think that that's a very high level of competition.
Yeah, let's see. When's the last time Wilson has been out of a first round? Let's take a look here. Oh my gosh. Listen to this. Round one finish. 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 Round one finish, 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 round one finish. And then went to decision back in 2019. So what, like 12 round one finish?
Wow, I had that at 14.
14. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, in and out, Weston Wilson. Oh gosh, but yeah, we'll see. I think I might get some props potentially, but I will not be getting to Yiza minus 1,200.
Me neither, dude.
Oof. Might be a little racist, but I can't take any Asian fighter minus 1,200 versus any current UFC fighter.
Yeah, the last time that happened, you were laying minus 1,200 on Wong Kong.
Oh,
yeah.
God. A lot of red. Yeah, and that's to be expected in a fight like this.
Yeah.
Whose daughter did Weston Wilson bang to deserve this treatment? I mean, who can you give him, though? I mean, in a lot of these fights, he's just going to get brutally knocked out. At least in this fight, you might get grappled to death, but at least he's not going against like a Gene Silva or like a Joe Anderson Brito here. Is the plus 3.5 is really plus 600, huh? I don't think I've ever seen a plus 3.5 at plus 600.
Yeah, I mean, just take his money line at plus 700 because if the guy hasn't been out of the first round in that long, you might as well. I mean, I don't think Weston Wilson has never won a decision, dude. 26 professional fights,
I believe
only
it.
been a decision twice, and he's 0-2 in decisions. So he's not a minute winner. He's definitely a moment winner.
Yeah, if I was to bet on Wilson, which probably not, but I mean, it would be that sub prop. It would be that sub prop. Bro, Yiza is at least 40. Maybe.
He looks young to me. He actually looks young.
Yeah, round one finish. Wilson finish only. He's been finished a lot is the only concern.
Yeah.
How many times has he been finished?
7 times and 9 losses.
And he's been sub 4 times. Okay.
Yeah.
That ain't good. He got sub by Carson Fry. Got sub by Charles Cheeks III, but Charles Cheeks III has a very underrated ground game.
Yes, very underrated. I mean, like, and he learned from Charles Cheeks II, who was a legend on the ground. I mean, you can't really talk about Charles Cheeks III without first talking about Charles Cheeks II, and obviously Charles Cheeks Sr.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Weston Wilson fight week. Let's go. Don Father saying, is Weston Wilson really considered a current UFC fighter? Borderline. He has a win though. He beat Jekka
Technically, Dogfather, he is considered. Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Milk that like button. We got Big Steve saying, "What the f? This is a full day late. Luckily, nothing else is going on in my life right now. Yeah, we had to move it back a day. Big Steve." Give Weston Wilson Steve Garcia. No, don't do that. It would look like the Charlie Ontiveros fight. Or worse. Remember when he pounded poor Charlie Ontiveros' face with the canvas? Oh gosh. Fight ends by sub. That might not be a bad look.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wonder what that is on Bet Online.
Let's take a peek.
Let's see.
Let's take a little peek here.
Either fighter by submission minus 200.
What?
Let's just say that they're onto it.
I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Minus 200 for an end sub.
Oh my god, it's minus 1,000. Fight doesn't go.
That's stupid, dude. Uncle Weezy's last week's story time was phenomenal. Can you tell a story about how you lost your virginity? What? Oh gosh. What I'll say is hanging out with Uncle Weezy, it's awesome because I know people love the story times. When you hang out with Uncle Weezy, you get like 15 story times in one night. You told like 15 stories. They were all phenomenal stories. So that was freaking awesome.
Dude, when you get me around my college friends, we could go for hours telling all of our college stories, and it just goes absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's like, how's that possible to have so many great stories? Like it's crazy. Minus 1,200 is crazy. Yiza's 0-2 in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean,
he is. He is.
It is what it is. People are very, very low on Weston Wilson.
Weezy, what did you do when Hooper got KO'd?
Dude, I couldn't believe it. We were going nuts. That was an amazing knockout by Hernandez, who's on a 3-fight win streak right now. Totally clean shot. Because, it's a special thing when you knock out Hooper because that dude's got a crazy chin on him. The only one that was able to do it prior to that was Garcia. And Hernandez hit him almost as hard. So yeah, great, good on Hernandez there. That was wild.
And good on Herzog for stopping a fight finally.
Yeah, I mean he stopped 2 in the last second of the round, right?
Yeah. Yep. Two last second stoppages from Jason Herzog. You'd love to see it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a weird one, but we got another really weird one, Wheezy here, and it's going to be, and I gotta switch hats real quick.
Oh no.
He's back.
It
is Michelle the Captain Pereira versus Kyle Daukaus. We got Michelle the Captain Pereira, 31 years old, 6'1" with a 73-inch reach. Kyle Daukaus, 32 years old, 6'3" with a 76-inch reach. Pereira 1 year younger. Kyle Daukaus with a 2-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Michelle Pereira, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Andre Petrosky. Submission win against Mikhail Olazechuk. a submission win against Igor Pereira. Those 3 fights totaled for 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes out there and loses his soul against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, gets TKO'd in round 5. And then he goes out there and shitting the bed would be an understatement.
Mm-hmm.
But he shit the bed against Abus Magomedov in one of the worst performances I've ever seen in my entire life. As far as Kyle Daukaus, we know him from the UFC, had a UFC run. His last loss was to Eric Anders, lost that fight by knockout. And then he gets cut, and then he goes out there and he racks up 4 wins, 2 submission wins, a decision win, and a KO win. And it's like, how can you ever trust Michel Pereira ever again? I mean, I truly believe that Michel Pereira would have lost to 90% of the division that night against Abus. He just didn't do anything. He just didn't do anything. He didn't show up. It literally looked like he bet on his opponent. It was a horrible look. And now I have to lay minus 300 on this guy. I can't lay minus 300 on. I mean, this guy lost to Tristan Connolly.
Yeah.
The bantamweight. This guy lost to Diego Sanchez. Never again. Absolutely never again. This guy caused me to write a rap, and I'm now going to perform that rap. And it's called Boats and Hoes. So here we go. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. You know Mikey P gotta have those boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. It's time to dance, bend down, touch your toes. Backflips, dance routines, puss and tits. That performance last fight was some shit. Yachts are expensive though, I understand that. You just cashed a bet that made your pockets fat. You got so many hoes I can't even count. Hope they stick around after your last bout. We know you made an Abus bet for an undisclosed amount. Someone please check this man's bookie account, because he's got boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. You know Mikey P gotta have those boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Last fight you looked drunk, hurt, tired, and slow. Michel and his buddies will be eating good. Abus by decision paid very good. He's on the way to the Brazilian steakhouse right now. He made so much last fight he can buy the whole cow. Enjoy your steak though, Mikey P, and enjoy your hoes. You got 1, 2, 3. Enjoy your drinks that come from the top shelf, and don't forget to get some help, because you got boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. You know Mikey P gotta have them boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Bet on your opponent, watch your money grow. I said boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. You know Mikey P gotta have those boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Okay, now let's get on to the show. Yeah. Shout out Mikey P. I ain't laying minus 300 on your punk ass. That's for damn sure.
You know, and the trends are so important. The momentum is so important when you break down these fights, Brady. And Michel Pereira is only 31 years old. So we're not going to call him washed up by any stretch of the imagination. He looks in phenomenal shape. He looks like 185 is the right weight class for him. He's physically huge for the weight class. He's explosive with his striking. And his takedown defense has actually usually been pretty good outside of the Hernandez fight. But that's a completely different animal, right? But he's on a 2-fight losing streak. He is pushing 32 years old. But here's the thing. And a lot of people don't know this. This guy's got 46 professional fights, Brady. 46. So we talk about age and years, but then there's the age and fight years. And Pereira's got some fight years on him, man. He's got some miles on that engine. 46 professional fights, 480. That's a lot. 480 minutes. You know how many hours that is?
A lot. It's
a lot, dude. I don't even want to do the math because my brain hurts from all the brain cells that I lost this last weekend. But I'm pretty sure 28. Yeah, it's 8. That's 8 hours of his life that he spent in a cage fighting for his life. And that last performance looked like a guy who doesn't want to be there anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Like he owes us so much more than what he showed in that performance. And Brady, as bad as the fight was, the dance performance that preceded the fight was about it was a tragedy. It was an absolute tragedy. If that dude brought that shitty dance routine to one of those candy ass shows that they have on network television, like So You Think You Can Dance or some piece of shit like that, there would have been some bitchy gay boy just absolutely giving him what for like, what was that performance? You know, like, I mean, no heart, no footwork. The timing was wrong. The choreography was harsh. You know, like everything about, if you watched that dance performance and you had money on Michel Pereira, you knew before he set foot in the cage that you should be ripping up your tickets like the cashiers used to do to Mush at the beginning of the Bronx Tale. Every time he'd lay a bet, they'd give him his tickets already ripped up because that's how bad his luck was. And if you saw that dance performance, it was one of the shittiest ever. I've been to like elementary school talent shows where I've seen dance routines that had more life and better choreography than that piece of shit that Pereira came out to last time. So, I mean, look, he should spark Daukaus. In Daukaus' 7 fights, he's been knocked down 4 times, and his distance striking defense is 55%. And 1 out of every 50 strikes that he's absorbing that's significant is dropping him. So Pereira should be able to get this guy out of here. We've seen Kyle Daukaus get knocked out in 2 of his 4 UFC losses. This guy is pretty hittable at distance striking range, and he prefers to be on the ground. You know, can he get takedowns here? He only got takedowns at a 23% clip, the UFC the first time around over a 7-fight sample size, and he was attempting 9.1 takedowns per 15 minutes. So he stayed really busy with his wrestling, and his fights were spending a lot of time in control time positions. So there's definitely a path here for Kyle. Not only could he actually out wrestle this dude, win some minutes on the mat, maybe lock up a submission if Michel tries to make him, if he makes a mistake trying to get back to his feet, or if he gives up his back. But Pereira might be done, Brady. That last performance is indicative of somebody who doesn't give a shit about fighting anymore. So I think that there's a couple of different paths here that Daukaus has, but you got to remember, here's Kyle Daukaus' last 4 opponents, right? Robert Gidron, Greg Ellis, and Greg Ellis almost finished Kyle Daukaus in the 3rd round of their fight. Sean Connor Fallon and Keenan Patershuk. While here's 4 out of the last 5 opponents for Michel Pereira: Abus Magomedov, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, Mihail Oleksiejczuk, Andre Petrosky. So while we've seen Kyle fight at the UFC level before, his last 4 performances are probably against guys that Pereira could beat in the same night. So, yeah, that was. I think that Pereira should get the job done here, but how can you lay minus 250 off of somebody coming off of literally the worst, maybe the 2nd worst performance of their career? But I'll tell you something though. All right, Brady. When Michel went out there and lost to Tristan Connolly, the fucking dance routine was a 10.
Yeah.
You know, he was out there breakdancing in the cage. He looked great. He looked committed to the dance routine as he walked out. He looked like a guy who was so confident that he was going to go in there and shave Tristan Connolly's ass that he put 100% of his effort into his dance routine, and it showed.
I know.
It showed. But that last dance routine, if you guys don't believe me, go back and watch it. You'll be disgusted. I promise you.
I have it pulled up. Are we allowed to show it on air?
I don't know, but
I'll retweet it. I'll retweet it. If you guys want to go,
yeah.
Okay, I just retweeted it. If you guys want to go check it, I'm watching it now. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
dude, you can't make this up. It's not like I just made a joke about it. Like, the dance routine was objectively bad, and that's coming from somebody who's never critiqued a dance routine in my life.
Mm-hmm. No,
because I don't give a shit about dance. I don't care. I want to be clear about that. I don't care about dancing.
Yeah. Agreed. No, I'm watching it right now. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
At DFS_numbers. If you think your Uncle Weezy's live, and go check that. I'm going to retweet that shit right now.
Go retweet it, man.
Yeah.
And the whole backstory for the boots and I went to his Instagram I went to his Instagram after the fight, and he's on a yacht, man. He's on a yacht.
Yeah, on a yacht, hanging out right after the fight. You know,
this dude owns a yacht. Those are expensive, right?
Yeah. I'm watching this dance routine right now. Oh my god, dude. That's the worst thing. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
They got a drone. They've got a drone flying over the yacht because these people are chilling so hard on that yacht that nobody was even willing to take a picture.
And this was what, 7 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Back in June? I'm just enjoying. Yep. So look at all these pictures on his yacht.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Gene Silva, Caio Bahaio, those guys are real fighters.
Yeah. There's his yacht once again. Just enjoying, just living the good life on a yacht. Has a jet ski. Just enjoying it, man.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting.
Abu's decision was what, 6-1, 7-1?
I mean, I think it was plus at least. I think it might have been 450 or 500, but still, man, that's a big number.
It's a big number.
How many times in your life outside of betting have you been able to, multiply a sum by 5 over a 15-minute period over the investment markets? I mean, maybe if you're trading options or futures, but even then, that's a very, very rare occurrence.
Yeah, no. So, but in all seriousness, like, it wouldn't shock me if Michel Pereira won in 60 seconds here. Like,
yes, I know.
He should.
Yeah.
He should. But it's like, he's just so inconsistent. Like the Connolly fight, his last fight against Abu's. I mean, he's doing stupid stuff in the fights a lot of times, and he has taken a step back from that a little bit. But still, I mean, just last performance was a very bad one. Michel Pereira. So money is actually coming in on Daukaus. Michel Pereira opened up at minus 225, went all the way to minus 300. He's now back to minus 260. And then Kyle Daukaus is at plus 220. The over-under is set at 1.5, right?
It should be.
And it looks like the over 1.5 is around minus 185. The under 1.5 is around plus 150. The fight goes plus 130. The fight doesn't go at minus 160 there. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Pereira gives a shit this time. We'll see if he gives a shit. Boats and hoes, yes. Potential record deal. Appreciate that, Dan. Appreciate that. How much for you to perform at my wedding? A couple $100. I'll do it. A couple $100. I don't need a yacht, but a couple $100. Why not? Do you think Michel's more of a filet mignon or a ribeye guy?
I'm looking at him right now, and I'm thinking he's a ribeye guy.
Ribeye, yes. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I just imagine me with a captain hat and Jessica Andrade and JJ Aldrich and Jasmine Jasnavicius and Kayla Harrison, Wei Lee, and strong bikinis. What's a strong bikini? Is that like what's a strong? I know what a bikini is, of course, but what is a strong bikini? Let's take a look. Strong bikini. Okay. Or does it mean string bikini?
Oh, string. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is because the O is right next to the I.
Okay.
So probably meant string bikini.
Okay. I know what a string bikini is.
I think I'm going to name my fantasy football team Strong Bikini this year.
Yes, I am a big fan of the string bikinis. That's for damn sure. Not really a fan of Andrade being in one. That seems quite inappropriate.
Better than her not being in one.
At least she's covered up this time. Brady's a good-looking seaman. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Boats and Hose remix coming out soon. Let's go. Might have to remix it if he drops the ball again. If he doesn't finish Kyle Daukaus here, might have to get another one in there. Michel Pereira versus Delidze. Oh God, isn't Michel Pereira training out of? I think he's training out of Factory X lately. Wait, yeah, I think so. Is that why he did bad? Michel Pereira. I think he's trained out of Factory X recently. No, wait. Extreme Couture, I mean. Extreme Couture. Let's take a look.
I'm still showing Scorpion Fighting Systems.
Oh gosh.
That's on Tapology though.
Extreme Couture. Yep. That's why he shit the bed. These Extreme Couture fighters. They've been doing awful. Dan Ige, Roman Dolidze, Michel Pereira. He's been training at Extreme Couture as recently as 4 weeks ago.
Daniel Zellhuber.
Oh, Zellhuber. Yeah. Oh, no, he was there. Yeah, he's been there. It looks like the last 2 fights. 17 weeks ago was at Extreme Couture. Wow.
Okay.
That explains it. That most definitely explains it. What's going on? Okay, good to know. Good to know. Did Michel Pereira address his performance last fight or have any explanation for what happened? I don't believe so.
I think he addressed it by cashing some checks at the bank and buying a boat.
Yeah. Weezy's pissed about it, as he should be.
Yes.
As he should be pissed about the performance. Slight gust of wind, and Daukaus does the chicken dance. Michel will KO him in round 1. And like I said, I think a 60-second finish.
I have no problem with that prediction. I mean, Daukaus is very hittable, and I mean, like Pereira goes nuclear when he hits. And let's also just bring up one real quick thing here. By the way, after the Tristan Connolly fight, which was one of the most dog shit performances of all time, he lost to Diego Sanchez via an illegal knee. So he came off a bad performance with an even worse one, a fight that he was easily winning. Then he gets disqualified in the 3rd round. But then he goes off and he rattles off an 8-fight win streak, Brady.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, so this guy can bounce back. You know, we've seen it before. We've seen him be like the laughing stock of the UFC after the Connolly and Diego Sanchez performances back-to-back. And then he beats Imadaev, beats Chaos Williams, beats Nico Price, beats Fialho, beats Ponzinibbio, beats Petrosky, beats Oleksiejczuk, beats Pereira. So he can come back. He just put together 2 losses in a row, kind of embarrassing losses, not to Hernandez because Hernandez is way better than him, but the Magomedov loss was mortifying to watch. I mean, that was easily his worst performance. At least he tried in the Hernandez fight. So, yeah, we'll see if he can bounce back. But a lot of miles on the engine, you know, almost 50 professional fights, 8 hours of cage time over his career. Maybe he doesn't care anymore, man.
And lots of dancing. I mean, the dancing, it's hard on the joints, hard on the legs. It's a lot of movement, a lot going on. I mean, dancing probably over the years probably takes a toll on you just as much as fighting. I mean, this guy dances all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It can take your toll on your knees, your hips, all those things.
Could be able to move your hip. He's getting up there in fight years.
Yeah.
Almost 50 fights. Yeah, a 50% motivated Pereira should be minus 1,000. I could see it, man.
And it's even short notice for Daukaus, too. You know, this was supposed to be, I forget who he was supposed to fight, but Daukaus is stepping in on short notice here.
So Kyle TKO is plus 1,000. I think that would cash only if like Pereira gets DQ'd, which is on the table.
Yeah, it's happened before.
He could get DQ'd. So yes, I mean, I think Kyle Daukaus by knockouts live, only because of the DQ part though. Other than that, I don't think he's knocking because Pereira is very durable. Pereira made a boatload in crypto. Is that why he has that yacht? Maybe. Oh, string. I got you. String bikini. Yeah. I got you. Mm-hmm. I got you. It's just a strong bikini. That's hilarious. Prayer is a lock. Oh, God. God help us. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. And it is going to be Rangu going against Austin Hubard. We got Rangu, 25 years old, 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. Austin Hubard, 33 years old, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. Rangu 8 years younger. Hubard with a 1-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Rangu is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He had a little stint in the UFC. He gets cut. He comes back, gets TKO'd by Chris Padilla, and then he goes out there and wins the decision against Cody Steele. As far as Austin Hubard, he is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Vince Pichel. Submission loss to Kurt Hollabaugh. Decision win against Michael Figlak. A decision loss to Alexander Hernandez. And a decision loss to Markel Medeiros. So one question I'm going to pose to you, Weezy, is Rangu at minus 300. What could you wrong?
Oh, God. Yeah, plenty could go wrong. I'm telling you, man. This, another Chinese fighter that has got a ton of fights and a ton of experience for a young man. 30 professional fights at the age of 25. Guy's been fighting, since he was 16 years old as a professional. So which just screams Enbo Fight Club. That all those Enbo Fight Club guys are, I think they go into that fight club when they're babies. I'm not even joking. And then they get put out there to fight. They make you fight there. Those guys are staying very busy and fighting every 2 or 3 months. And yeah, the kid's only 25 years old. He's got a pretty well-rounded skill set. Like the hands. I mean, he's got a 14-1 record to the KO. And we saw those hands really on display in the Cody Steele fight. Hubard is a veteran, though. You know, he's got 25 professional fights, so he doesn't even have as much experience as Rangu, and he's 8 years older than him. But he's got the experience that counts. He's fighting real fighters, not in China. So he's doing, you know, I mean, the last 5 fighters: Markel Medeiros, Alexander Hernandez, Michael Fidlak, Kurt Halibo, and then we're showing Vince Pichel on there, but he had a couple of regional scene fights before then. I think it might have been Agnew was his last win before the Halibo fight. And, you know, you got Rangu fighting Song Chan Hong and Sang Wook Kim and Shin Haraguchi and losing to Chris Padilla. And then, you know, he gets a win over Cody Steele, but let's face it, Cody Steele fought like a fucking moron in that fight, and he's got a lot of learning to do still. So it's going to be interesting, though, man. I mean, like, Hubard has to have this win, Brady. He's 4-7 in the UFC. The 4 guys that he's beaten at this level have combined UFC records of 0 wins and 8 losses.
Oh,
yeah, man. And then in Rangu has 2 wins at this level. But if you add up the guys that he beat at the UFC level, their UFC records, it's 0 wins and 3 losses.
Oh,
so somebody's going to get their first UFC level win here. Either Rangu is going to get their first UFC level win, or Austin Hubbard's going to get their first UFC level win. But, you know, I mean, like, if Austin Hubbard is going to a 50-50 fight with Alexander Hernandez, and he's going to a 50-50 fight with Markel Medeiros, I don't understand why he's plus 250 against Rangu. Once again, I don't care what country it's in. You know, just because this is in China, it doesn't mean that Rangu automatically wins. He's still got to fight like a UFC fighter, and we don't really know if he is one yet. He's going to want to keep this fight standing, though, because I think that Austin Hubbard's the better wrestler, and I think he might actually be the better submission grappler. As we saw in that Medeiros fight last time out, Austin Hubbard is leveling up his grappling game over at Valley Flow Striking with some really good grapplers over there, guys like Gerald Mearshart and Bilal Muhammad. So I think it's going to play out a lot closer than what the money line suggests it will. And if Austin can get his wrestling game going here, I think he might be able to win some minutes on the mat. And he's got functional striking. Probably Rangu wins the minutes and moments at range, but because Hubbard's not a big hitter, obviously, he's not really a knockout guy at this level. But you know, if he can mix in the grappling and find get to Rangu's back in one of the rounds like he did against Medeiros, I think he can win this fight.
yeah, I think that the plus 3.5 on Hubbard could be a solid look this week. You know, win one round with that grappling. And yeah, Hubbard's one of these guys who's just not great anywhere, but he's also not bad anywhere as well. You know, good cardio, really tough guy. The striking, I think, is actually pretty underrated. Like the Hernandez fight was on the feet the entire time pretty much, and he went, you know, pretty close with him. But yeah, the wrestling and grappling here especially. Cody Steele forgot that he's a wrestler, a really good one, and he's a black belt. Cody Steele's a black belt. And decided to not wrestle and grapple at all. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But yeah, I mean, Austin Hubbard can definitely make this a lot closer than the line does indicate with the right game plan. But I'm going to pose this to you. A what could go wrong parlay. Hear me out. Right. Leg number 1, Yiza, minus 1,600.
All right.
Leg number 2, Michelle Pereira, minus 295. And then leg number 3, Rangu, minus 280. It comes out to minus 107. What could go wrong?
2.14 units to win 2.
What do you think?
And 3 of the most untrustworthy fighters. I mean, oh God.
What could go wrong?
I mean, a whole lot could go wrong there. Man, this is a tricky one, dude. It's a tricky card. Because you got some overrated Chinese fighters and people are basically betting them because they think that their opponents suck. But like, you don't bet a massive money line, lay a bunch of juice on a shitty fighter just because they're fighting somebody that you think is even shittier. You want to be laying juice on fighters that are good fucking fighters.
Yeah, there's been some recent examples of that lately. I can't think of any off the top of my head because I'm still hungover, but there has been some recent examples of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Boy can throw. Yeah, Rangu, he can throw down, man.
Yeah,
as long as he's not coming in with that pink hair. That I think anytime he's had that pink hair, he's lost every time.
Yeah,
every time. I don't think the judges like it. It's just not good. Cody Steele sucks. I don't think he sucks. I just thought his game plan sucked. Brady and Weezy, it's horrible. It was terrible. Brady and Weezy, are you guys staying up for this card? Going to be my first all-nighter for UFC. I will not be staying up all night.
I doubt it, man. Maybe I'll give Avery a call at like 3 a.m. and we could chop it up like we did on Friday night, and then we'll stay up until like 5:30 and watch half the card.
Oh, but even like this card is not going to be over till like 9 or 10 in the morning. Oh my gosh, there's no way. It would ruin my weekend if I did that. So I'm gonna wake up and then watch the fights. I think that's probably what I'm doing. I actually think Rangu is good. Am I crazy? I don't think you're crazy. I think he's gotten a lot better these last couple years. Austin Hubard is the worst fighter in the lightweight division. Is he? There's got to be a worse fighter than Austin Hubard, right?
I mean, I thought he beat Markel Medeiros and Alexander Hernandez. Michael Figlak lost to him, so I don't know what that makes him. No, he's not the worst fighter in the lightweight division. He's got 4 UFC wins.
Yeah. Brady, you love Valley Flow a little too much?
You mean me. He means me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If Hubbard comes out with Karate Kid attire, I may bet him. Okay. Rangu looked good versus Padilla too until that filthy elbow. Yeah, it was a filthy elbow. Yeah. That's a Dumas level parlay. We got Dr. Piener with a donut. What?
Swollen sack versus Chintu Gooch.
What's your problem?
You know, I think that's going to be on the Macau card next year.
Okay, I got you. Appreciate that, Dr. Piener, for the $2 donut. He's the best doctor out there. He is. All right. Let's get this off the board. We're not doing that. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is Lonnie Kavanagh going against Charles Johnson. We got Kavanagh, 26 years old, 5'4" with a 67-inch reach. Charles Johnson, 34 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Kavanagh, 8 years younger. Charles Johnson, 5-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Kavanagh, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He beat Antoine Ho on the Contender Series by knockout, beat Jose Ochoa by decision, and then beat Felipe Dos Santos by decision. Kavanagh's been looking pretty dang good thus far as Charles Johnson. 4-1 in his last 5 fights. A decision win against Ozat Moxham. A decision win against Jake Hadley. A knockout win against Josh Van. A decision win against Sumadargi. And then a decision loss against Ramazan Temirov. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one, Weezy, because I believe you have not gotten a Charles Johnson fight correct ever. Ever, right? Or maybe one?
No, actually, I just looked earlier today, and it's better than I thought, but it's still very bad. Okay, I am officially 2-8 on my Charles Johnson fight predictions. 2-8. So we will go through them here. I didn't make an official prediction on the Mokaev fight, but I can say that I had a bet on Charles Johnson to beat Mokaev by decision. So I believe that I got that one wrong. I picked Jalmas Zhumagulov to beat him. I had a bet on Jalgis, lost that one because Charles won by split. I got the Jimmy Flick fight right. Okay.
Hey.
Jimmy Flick. I had Johnson KO round 3, but he won by ground and pound in round 1. I picked Johnson to beat Odie Osborne. Wrong. I picked Johnson to beat Cody Durden. Wrong. I picked Johnson to beat Rafael Esteban. Wrong. So he fucked me 3 times in a row. So I'm like, fuck it. Azat Maksum's going to kick his ass. Wrong. Then I picked Jake Hadley to beat him. And nope. He ran through Jake Hadley pretty easily. I had Josh Van to beat him. Got that one wrong. But I did pick Charles Johnson to win by decision over Sumadargi.
Hey.
So that was the second one that I got right, including the flick fight. And then I bet on Charles Johnson to knock out Ramazan Temirov in round 3. Temirov got that win by unanimous decision, 29-28. So my picks, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am 2 wins and 9 losses picking Charles Johnson fights. I am officially the worst Charles Johnson fight prognosticator that's still breathing air on this planet right now.
Let me take a look at mine. Let's see here. Okay, so I got Makayev decision correct.
Okay.
Johnson decision against Zalgas correct. Johnson KO against Jimmy Flick correct. So 3. I picked Charles Johnson versus Ode, so that's 3 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Durden decision correct. Estevam decision correct. So that's 5 and 1. 5 and 2. I got Maxim wrong. I picked Johnson against Hadley, 6 and 2. I picked Van, 6 and 3. I picked Johnson versus Sumadargi, 7 and 3. I'm 7 and 4, which is not horrible, but yeah. But I have been losing money on these last couple of Charles Johnson fights. I had Charles Johnson money line against Temirov, and didn't Temirov pop for all the steroids? Was that him?
Yeah, he did. He did. I don't think it was an in-competition test. I think it was before his next fight that he popped for the steroids. But I mean, you could take one look at Ramazan Temirov.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, I mean, he was doing it during the Johnson fight, before the Johnson fight, and after. So he just got caught.
I had Johnson inside the distance against Sumadargi, and he hurt him really bad in the second round. Mark Smith didn't stop the fight. What else? I had a big bet on Maxim versus Charles Johnson. Maxim goes out there and loses the fight. So yeah, I don't know, man. Lonnie Kavanagh looks like the real deal to me, but Charles Johnson, said we won about him. He's a very, very good fighter.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, you look at the opponents even before the UFC: Yuma Horiuchi, João Camilo, Carlos Mota. Then it's Makayev, Zhumagulov, Ode Osborne, Cody Durden, Estevam, Maxim, Hadley, Van. So he's been fighting at a much higher level than Lonnie Kavanagh has. And then, so he's got a lot more experience. He's 5 inches taller. He's got a 3-inch reach advantage, 15 more professional fights, 200 more minutes of professional cage time, 3 more years as a professional, 9 more fights at the UFC level, 120 more minutes of UFC octagon time, sizable strength to schedule advantage. He throws more volume. He lands at a higher clip. Loney's a little bit more defensively responsible here. But, it's interesting getting Charles Johnson at plus money here because, we know that he can mix in the wrestling a little bit if he wants to. We know that he stays very busy. We know that this guy's output and conditioning are always elite for the division. And he stays healthy and he stays busy too. So Charles Johnson is not a guy you want to lay big juice against, especially when you see all of the advantages that he has in this spot, including the experience advantages, the size advantage, the length advantage, the height advantage. All this stuff is in the favor of Charles Johnson here. But Lonnie Kavanagh is a phenomenal prospect at only 26 years old. He's a little bit small for the division, so I'm interested to see against somebody that switches stances and is as fluid as Charles Johnson and can push a pace, how Loney's going to stand up here because, even Ochoa was landing some big shots at the end of the second round against Kavanagh. So, yeah, I think that this one can play out pretty close. There might be some value on the Charles Johnson side here. And Charles, if you're listening, pay me. I'll pick Lonnie Kavanagh to win. It'll wind up being the easiest win of your career, man.
Yeah, I'm done betting on Charles Johnson fights, to be honest. I mean, he could have easily beat Temirov. He just didn't do anything. It's like he took too long to get started. But yeah. What I will say, if Charles Johnson wins this fight in the third round, I'll get a skullet.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that would be huge.
if he gets a third round finish, I will get a skull. You know what? For the rest of his career, for the rest of Johnson's career, if he gets a third round finish, I will get a skull. It could be in any fight going forward. So that's pose the challenge to him. If he gets that third round finish in any fight going forward, I will be sporting a skullet one of these weeks.
That would be sweet, dude.
It would be sweet. It would be sweet. Charles Johnson killing Van is the most fluke result in years. Yeah, it still makes no sense to me. The one time Johnson round 3 hits, it was against Josh Van.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? How crazy.
Everybody donated Johnson round 3, Johnson round 3, Johnson round 3, and then you missed it all those times in a row and against Josh Van. You're like, fuck that. I'm not doing it against Josh Van. That guy turns up as the fight goes on, and he gets the round 3 KO there. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I know I've donated my fair share on round 3, Charles Johnson. Johnson plus 3.5 looks solid. To the plus 3.5 is minus 200. Minus 200 there. Got milk. Kavanagh by a 3 round of milking, all the milk everywhere. Sephora saying Kavanagh potentially milking Charles Johnson. God, Charles Johnson is not what I thought. He's kind of hit or miss, but picking Van versus Johnson wasn't a mistake. Van fought drunk that night. Yeah, fighting drunk is not ideal. Not ideal. That Jose Ochoa win is aging well. That it is. Johnson plus 3.5 is free money. Like I said, minus 200 probably hits. You would imagine, because nobody's finishing Charles Johnson. So this fight is going to go the distance. And by the way, what is the over here? The over is sitting at minus 355. Oh
my God,
minus 355, eh?
And my betting model still sees value in it because almost 85% of their combined 13 UFC fights have actually went over 2.5 rounds. So, and Charles Johnson's as durable as they come.
Oh, he's so durable.
Yeah, I mean, like this guy's got he's only been fighting for 9 years, but he's got 24 professional fights. So he averages fighting 2.5 times a year. The guy's always healthy. He always makes weight, even though he's a massive flyweight. So the guy's a true professional. It's going to be an interesting test for Kavanagh. This is a big step up for him.
Yeah. We got Gus in the building. What is up? And Temirov was juiced against Johnson. You know who else was juiced? That the dude that fought Denise, Alvin Hines.
Yeah.
No wonder he was eating them big shots. My knockout prop went in the trash because of that fight. He was on all the steroids. All of them. He was like on all the steroids, Alvin Hines. Yeah. They cut him, by the way.
They cut Alvin Hines?
Yeah, they cut him. He was on all the steroids. I mean, I get it.
On all of them?
All of the steroids.
Because, like, you know, Big Riz Van Kuniev got tested positive for 4 steroids in just one fight.
Yeah, they cut poor Alvin Hines. Let him go. We got D in the building. What is up, D? Good to see you. Yeah, they got him. They got Goozy. They got him. We got 200 people in the YouTube chat, but only 91 likes. Pipe it up, people. Yeah, we're going live on a Monday, right? Like people, it's usually Sunday, so I get it. But yeah, we're 9 likes away from 100. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be Maheshate going against Gage Young. We got Maheshate, who is 25 years old, 6 foot with a 71-inch reach. Gage Young, 25 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Gage Young is going to have the same age there. It's going to be Maheshate with a 3-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. Maheshate is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. A knockout win against Steve Garcia, a decision loss to Rafa Garcia, a knockout loss to Slava Borshev, decision win against Gabriel Benitez, and then a decision loss to Nicholas Mota. As far as Gage Young, he is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Evan Elder and lost that fight by decision. And then he also fought on the Contender Series against Quinlan Salkild and lost that fight as well by decision. So, Weezy, this is the closest line fight on the card. It's got like minus 130, Gage Young, plus 110 on Maheshate.
Yeah, both of them are 25 years old. And I mean, I don't know what I want to do with this one, man. I'm not really fired up about either one of these guys. You know, for Gage Young, it's a tough road to hoe when you got to go all the way over to Chinese to fight a Chinaman. So I mean that's not great. And then with Mahashate, I'm just completely underwhelmed by this guy. Pretty high volume striker, but I mean his distance striking accuracy, Brady, is 28.8%.
Oh, is he fighting blindfolded?
I mean that's fucking pathetic. I mean that's 11.7% worse than the divisional average. And this guy throws a lot of kicks, which traditionally they land at a higher rate because you're usually kicking to the legs and to the body, which are easier targets. So, yeah, Mahashate's, I mean, he's all right. He's got a pretty good right hand. He's big for the division. But, I mean, like, there's not any grappling there. I mean, he is a Chinese Greco-Roman champion, which is great because at least 4 people show up to those tournaments out of 1 billion.
Wasn't Zhang Hu a champion as well, or is that?
Yeah, Zhang Yu, another great Greco-Roman wrestler,
legend,
China, legendary,
yes.
Legendary. Yeah, he won a tournament that had 2 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know what to do with this dude. I mean, neither one of these guys is much good in my opinion. I mean, maybe Gage Young at only 25 years old, who hits really hard, could wind up showing some improvements here. And Mahashate is going to be much taller, a little bit longer. Good technical boxing, good straight right hand. But I mean, I could care less about this fight if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, dude, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's a brutal one. And yeah, that is crazy. Mahashate beats Steve. How good is that win, AJ?
Yeah.
Steve Garcia win.
Yeah, I mean, like he beat Garcia and then lost to guys like Moda and Rafa Garcia, Yeah,
even that Gabriel Benitez fight was super close. And then Benitez, that might have been one of his last fights, Benitez.
Yeah, Benitez like damn near 40 years old in the lightweight division. So, like, I mean, yeah, I'm completely underwhelmed by this guy.
Yeah.
Mahachate, I mean. And Gage Young's just got, I mean, like, he lost to some tough, like Evan Elder's a tough fight. Quillen Salkeld looks like the real deal. So it's kind of hard to know where Gage is right now.
Agreed. So Gage Young opened at minus 150. He's currently minus 130. Mahashate opened at plus 130, currently plus 110. The over-under set at 2.5. The over 2.5 minus 165. The under 2.5 is plus 135.
Yeah. I mean, my model, what does my model have there? My model doesn't like it, but it's only a 6-fight sample size, and I don't think Mahashate has the best chin, and he's got a little bit of power. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I say, this is one of those fights where I just saw that, Mahashate versus Gage Young, and I was like, oh, boy, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, I feel it. I just worry about a robbery if it goes to decision, they could give it to Mahashate.
Yeah.
Maha shot the bed too many times. Yeah, he has. Hines took steroids, ruined his health, and didn't even try to grapple, took a beating and got fired. That's somebody that needs help. Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be taking all those steroids. There's a lot of steroids you got caught with. Mahashate don't have a last name. I think he does have a last name. It's like Mahashate Hayer or something like that.
Hayasayer, something like that. Yeah. Those Szechuan names are pretty wild, dude.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Do you see this comment by Anita Hardcock?
Yeah. That's another Anita Hardcock.
Yeah.
I need a hard cock.
I can't pull up comments like that, Anita.
Yeah, that's just, I mean.
It's a terrible comment.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's a censor just spinning in their grave like a lathe, seeing stuff like that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who the F is Gage Young? I don't know, dude. He's okay, but he has a lot to prove. Yeah. Under 2.5 plus 135, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I don't mind that.
Maybe. The steroid, they'll catch up to you. They will.
Yeah.
100%. All right, let's move on. I'm surprised that fight's so up that high on the card. I kind of expected to be.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Even this next one, it's like, why is this on the main card, but Pereira versus Daukaus isn't?
Yeah, you're going to have to help me with this name, dude.
Oh, yeah. I know this one. Tayulak Nurgozhay. Tell you lock.
Take a leak, Nurgozhay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, take a leak, Nurgozhay going against Kiefer Crosby. We got take a leak. He is 24 years old, 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. Kiefer Crosby, 35 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. Take a leak, 11 years younger. He's going to have a 3-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. Take a leak. He's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He's going to be making his debut here. As far as Kiefer Crosby, he is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. He lost to Kevin Doucette by submission and Sam Patterson by submission, both in the first round. So I was not able to tape take a leak Nurgozhay yet. So I'm going to kick this one to you. What I will say, though, is Kiefer Crosby is probably the worst fighter I've ever seen step foot in the UFC, up there with Mike Jackson, which I think Mike Jackson's better than Kiefer Crosby because Mike Jackson has a UFC win. I don't ever envision Kiefer Crosby ever getting a win. So just by default, I got to go with take a leak here, but I have not taped him yet. Is take a leak a decent fighter or what? And speaking of take a leak, I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, dude, he's good. He's fun to watch, man. He's huge for the division. So he's 6'2", 75-inch reach. He's a southpaw. He's got great step-in knees. He's got good long-range weapons. He flashes some power. And he's only 1-0 to the submission, so he's definitely somebody that's going to knock you out a lot more than he's going to try to submit you. But I've seen him actually mix in the wrestling in the Wong Chi fight. He got a bunch of takedowns in the first round and a couple in the second round as well. So from what I've seen from this kid, at only 24 years old, 11-1 as a professional thus far, even though he has 13 fights. So I don't know if there's a no contest in there or just something on my coding isn't reading it properly, but I'm showing 11-1, but there might be some kind of there's a no contest for an illegal move, it says. I don't know what that means, but yeah, so the only loss came to Meng Ding via liver kick in round 3. That was back in 2021, and we saw Meng Ding actually on the Contender Series a couple of years ago. So it's a fairly high level, regional scene opponent to actually lose to. With the one thing that kind of confused me about Tailak, which I didn't understand, was he gets that win over Wang Chi on JCK Fight Night, and then he gets the fight against Hansul Kim on Road to UFC, and he wins it in spectacular fashion. So I don't know why they didn't sign him there, because you would think after that win over Hansul Kim at the young age that he was at with the impressive record that he had, that the UFC would have signed him getting a win like that on Road to UFC, but they didn't. And instead, he went back to the regional scene. He got a win over Douglas Ribeiro, which was a really fun fight in 1:25 seconds. He got a win over Maxim Shemchenko in WKG. And then there's a fight against somebody named Kirill Karpykin in Shui Combat. And then we haven't seen him in a while. So not only is the kid only 24 years old, but he had to pull out of a fight against Alison Barbosa with an injury during a weight cut in October of 2024. Then he had another Road to UFC fight scheduled in May of 2025. He had to pull out of that fight with an injury. And then there was another fight that was scheduled about 2 months after he pulled out of the Kit Campbell fight on Road to UFC. And that fight was also canceled. So we haven't seen this guy fight now in a very long time, but maybe the reason the Fabricio Martins fight was canceled because he got the call up to the UFC. Kiefer Crosby's grappling is some of the worst that I've ever seen. If you get this guy down, it's an insta-sub waiting to happen. But Kiefer can box. You know, he's pretty good in the pocket. He'll switch stances a little bit. And when he gets close, when he works his way into the pocket, he'll put combinations together and he'll throw with power. So, I think Crosby's really going to need to kind of crowd the pocket here against Nurgozhay, because he's going to be 3 inches shorter. He's going to be at a 5-inch reach disadvantage here. And you don't want to be dealing with Nurgozhay's weapons, that the long-range ones in particular. And what I don't like is that Crosby, because he's going to have to close the distance in this fight against Nurgozhay because of the height and reach disadvantages that he's at, he might walk on to those step-in knees that Tailak throws on the regular, and they're really nasty. You're going to enjoy watching the tape on this kid, Brady. He looks like he's got all the tools. He's, but he's a Chinese fighter at only 24 and a half years old. So we're going to have to see if he can get some wins at the UFC level. But this is a great spot. I mean, Kiefer Crosby is one of the easiest, opponents that you can get on the entire roster in any weight class here. So it looks like they're trying to tee Tylock up for a win. But I also think that this might be short notice for him. Is that the case? I feel like Crosby was supposed to fight. Yeah, they tried to get Kanan Song one more win, and they faced him up with Kiefer Crosby. So Song had to pull out of that fight. So maybe prayers for Kanan Song.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're pulling out of a Martin Buday fight when you're Kennedy and Nzechukwu and we get worried about you, what happens if you have to pull out of a Kiefer Crosby fight at the UFC level? I mean, this Kanan Song might not even be alive right now. He might not be with us. He could be in like a Chinese death camp somewhere, Brady, for all
he could be.
Because you don't pull out of a Kiefer Crosby fight if you're a UFC fighter. I could tell you that.
No, you don't. So one thing I want to look into, have you seen any grappling from this guy at all from Take a Leak?
Yes, in the Chi Wong fight. Or Wong Chi, I should say. Hey. He gets 4 takedowns in round 1.
Okay.
He gets a couple takedowns in round 2, and he lands some really nice ground and pound. I've seen him land some really nice ground and pound from the top position, too. He kind of goes Alexander Romanov with the King Kong shit. He's got a ground game too, Brady. I'm telling you, this guy's pretty good everywhere, but he's got a lot to prove.
That's all I need to hear. I mean, Kevin Doucette looked like Khamzat Chimaev out there versus this guy. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, and that was Kiefer Crosby looking to get a judo throw against the judo black belt.
That's hilarious. That was hilarious.
And it looked exactly like if a white belt was like Uchimata, and then he went for the whizzer kick, and the guy just picked him up. It was so funny,
God.
Man. Oh God, that was so bad.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tape this guy tomorrow, and but there's no way I'm picking Crosby against anybody. So, Take a Leak. He is minus 470. He actually opened up minus 150, which would have been an instant max bet, just a blind max bet against one Kiefer Crosby. But minus 470 now, and then Crosby is plus 370. The over/under, you guessed it, set at 1.5, and it's juiced to the under. The under 1.5 is minus 175. I think that's extremely juiced to the tits, but I think it hits. But they're definitely all over it. So Take a Leak. Nurgozhay. Let's go. Looking forward to his debut.
Yep. It's gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. Possible Nurgozhay piping play. Yeah, but potentially early candidate for a piping. We could see that. Definitely piping of the week. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. We got Torres Finney in the building. What is up, Torres Finney? Got a lot of fighters that are fans of the show. He says, I'm angry at Bakayev from his last tweet. I'll have to go check it out, Torres. But shout out to Torres Finney there.
Oh, yeah.
Did the United Center try piping you guys on site? So I got piped on site only once when I bought a Modelo, and it ended up being $27 for one Modelo. It was a great Modelo, but $27. Like, are they going to suck my dick as well? $27 for a beer. What are we doing? So
that is crazy because like a Modelo too. It's a shit beer compared to like some of the stuff that you can get in this city.
Yeah. Yeah, it was between like a Modelo and something I've never even heard of. So I went with the Modelo and $27. Great piping play. I agree. It's a 24 pack. Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny to visualize piping on site. Yeah, getting piped on site. It's scary. You don't want to get piped on site. You bring a girl and she wants a fancy mixed drink, probably like $40, 100%.
Probably.
We got Gabe in the building. What's up, Gabe? Good to see you in there. Outrageous. And yeah, Brian Ortega likes Modelo. That's for sure. All right, let's move on to the next fight, and we have Sumadargi going against Kevin Borhas. I think this is low-key a banger. We got Madargi, 29 years old, 5'8" with a 72-inch reach. Borhas, 27 years old, 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. Borhas 2 years younger. Sumadargi with a 3-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Sumadargi is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A decision win against Zaruk Adashev. Submission loss to Matt Schnell. Submission loss to Tim Elliott. Decision loss to Charles Johnson. And then a decision win against Mitch Raposo. As far as Kevin Borhas, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He had a decision win against Victor Diaz on the Contender Series. A decision loss to Joshua Van. A knockout loss to Alessandro Costa. And then a decision win against Ronaldo Rodriguez. So, yeah, it's an interesting fight here because Sumadargi, I like to refer to him as the Elise Reed of the flyweight division. Like, this guy's grappling's very, very poor. He's been submitted 5 or 6 times. But in this matchup, he's going to get the fight they want, and vice versa. Kevin Borhas is going to get the fight he wants. These guys are going to stand there in the middle of the cage. They're going to pull out their dicks, and they're going to swing dicks, and they're going to see and find out who has the bigger dick. I think this has potential, Weezy, to be fight of the night because I don't think either one of these guys is going to try to really grapple here. I think these guys are going to stand and bang.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, like, Kevin Borhas has 0 takedowns at the UFC level in 3 fights, and I think Sumadargi probably has gotten 1 total one, you know? So we're talking about 11 total fights between these guys, and they've combined for 1 takedown. So, yeah, you're going to see Sue and Kevin stand in the center of the cage and swing dicks, like you said. And Mudarji is a little bit more accurate. He's a little bit more defensively responsible. He's a southpaw. He's 3 inches taller, and he's got a 4-inch reach advantage. So those are all spots that we like. And we know that Borhas is not afraid to get in there and trade with anybody. It's going to be a great fight. I mean, Borhas spends a ton of time at distance striking range, as does Sumadarji. I don't know, man. Like, Sue's a really good striker. But there's just, I just, every time I see him, I feel like he should be letting his hands go a lot more. I don't think he does enough. I think he's a little too pretty, Brady. You know, in terms of, I don't think he likes getting hit. And as a result, I think he kind of slows down his offensive output and kind of tries to point fight a little bit. He's got power. We've seen that power before, but only 10.7 distance strike attempts per minute. And a 69% distance striking defense, that's elite, but it also shows that he's kind of a little bit unwilling to get in there and engage sometimes. I mean, that Raposo fight, that was dog shit. I couldn't believe that. That fight was fucking horrible. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, it was perfect that it came down to a split decision because after 15 minutes of neither guy doing dick, it was almost impossible to figure out who won that fight. So, I mean, coming off of that performance, I'm just a little bit worried about Sue because before that, he lost to Schnell. He lost to Tim Elliott. He lost to Charles Johnson. The win before that came against Zaruk Adashev, who's probably an atom weight. You know, the guy's 5'0". And I think he had 5 professional fights going into that fight with Sumadarji. So, I don't know what this dude's level is right now. And coming off of that Raposo fight, it looks like he doesn't even want to be in there. So I'm not sure what's going on here, man. I think Borhas plus money?
Yeah. And one thing I want to mention is ever since Sumadargi had like a really nasty leg injury. And since then, he kind of hasn't looked the same. He's showing up with those knee sleeves. Just kind of looks a little bit off in there. You know, since that, he had like a really bad, I don't know what kind of injury it was, but really, his leg was fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a reason because, like, I feel like his striking looked good and he was a little bit more aggressive earlier in his career. But maybe it's because they were matching him up against nobodies. Like, I remember he knocked out Melvin Gordon, right, or Malcolm Gordon.
Yeah.
Who else did he get? He got Zaruk Adashev, who's a complete bum. Oh yeah, and those were his only finishes at this level. Oh, wait, he didn't even finish. Dude, he did not finish Zaruk Adashev.
Oh, yeah, he didn't. It was horrible. I was pissed because I'm pretty certain I had like an under there.
Oh, my God. This guy's trash.
Those double knee sleeves. Yeah.
Wow, dude. I mean, he didn't look bad against Charles Johnson though, which is weird,
Well,
because
he got finished, but the ref didn't stop the fight. He got finished in the second round.
oh, that's right. That's right. Because like if you look at the stats, you see Sumadargi outlanded him by 10 significant strikes, but he did almost get served there at the end of the second.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a bad performance in that Raposo. It was a really bad performance. It was awful.
Yeah. I mean, like the Schnell loss was fine. I mean, like I kind of felt like that fight should have been stopped about 3 different times, and Schnell got kind of lucky there, But yeah, I mean, like I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. This is a good matchup for him though, because he doesn't have to really worry about the grappling. He can just kind of go out there and kickbox. And if he does that, with the height advantage, the reach advantage, him being the southpaw, he's probably the harder hitter. Maybe he can get the win.
Yeah, I'm checking his Instagram, and not much recent training footage. Was trying to find out. The last training footage picture was from 90 weeks ago, which is a long time ago, and he does have those double knee sleeves on there. But yeah, no recent training footage recently. It looks like even like his last post was like 16 weeks ago.
Yeah, after the Raposo fight, he probably had to go into hiding.
Yeah, he's a very handsome guy. I mean,
he's a good-looking kid. Yeah,
pull up a picture.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I don't know about the glasses.
I don't love the glasses, but the jacket's very nice.
Agreed.
I don't know if I'd button. I mean, he has a lot of those buttons. I mean, he's in Miami. I mean, let's take off some of those buttons.
Yeah.
Like you're in Miami, Florida. Why do you have all the buttons buttoned? Like unbutton them. You're in Miami.
I don't know how you could wear a jacket like that in Miami any time of the year.
It looks like he's wearing a hoodie under the jacket, if I'm not mistaken, with blue jeans. I'm betting Borhas.
Man,
I'm at the bet Borhas.
Florida, yeah.
If you're going to wear a buttoned-up jacket with a hoodie underneath, you're not the smartest guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're cold in Miami, like Kevin Borhas, the Peruvian, he's going to kill you.
Yeah, so I got to look into this one more, but after seeing something like that, it's got to be dog or pass. Sumadargi opened up minus 170. He's currently minus 155. Kevin Borhas opened up plus 145. He's currently plus 135 there. The over-under set at 2.5 rounds. The over 2.5 minus 265. The under 2.5 is plus 205. Big number there. Big number for that under.
Yeah, for a guy like, Mudarji, who hits hard and who's been finished a ton, that could be really interesting.
Yeah, I would bet it instantly if Borhas was a sub threat whatsoever, but he's not. So we kind of got to rely on a knockout in the flyweight division. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Dr. Piener, who has the bigger eggplant,
he would know.
Some really weird comments. Brady is naked from the waist down. It's a kink thing. That's ridiculous to say. Under 2.5 plus 200. Yeah, like I said, I mean Sumadargi. I don't think he's ever been knocked out. Right? Maybe once.
I don't. I don't think he's ever. Let me see. Sumadargi has been finished by submission 6 times, but never knocked out.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky. And like, and as somebody who bet the under in the Raposo Mudarji fight, and there was no action for 15 minutes, I would warn you about betting that under, because like I thought it was a great play and it was just an awful play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but man, some of the shots that Borhas was landing on Rodriguez, I think would probably knock out Sumadarji. I just think Rodriguez's chin is ridiculous. I mean, that guy has a big old head. Losing to Matt Schnell is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was kicking his fucking ass for like 8 minutes before before the tide turned.
He was. Give me the plus 135 underdog Borhas. Cash it. I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it. Just off his outfit. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad outfit, but you're talking about a jacket in Miami. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting look.
Notice how you didn't stand up to prove it? I don't got to prove nothing to you.
Yeah,
Get out of here. All right. Under his live, I would tend to agree, but it could be one of those frustrating things because, like Weezy said, like Sumadargi couldn't finish Zaruk Adashev, so I kind of feel like if there is a finish, it might have to come from the Borhas side. What is Borhas inside the distance? Oh my gosh! Wow, plus 375. That ain't bad against the guy that's been finished 6 times. Borhas by knockout plus 475. Borhas by sub plus 2,500.
Massive trifecta bet on my betting model, but
I bet.
it's
Does he have any
because
subs?
he's zero as a professional, and I'm pretty sure he's attempted zero at the
Yeah.
UFC level, So I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably not happening, but it's one of those things. Sometimes, it's how fighter A loses more than how fighter B wins in terms of what's going to give you value. It just depends on the matchup.
Maybe Sue will tap to strikes and the cash that plus 2,500 sub prop.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next fight. We have Sergey Pavlovich going against Waldo Cortez Acosta. We got Pavlovich, 33 years old, 6'3" with an 84-inch reach. Waldo Cortez Acosta, 33 years old, 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. Same age there. Cortez Acosta with a 1-inch height advantage. Pavlovich with a 6-inch reach advantage. Pavlovich is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A knockout win against Taito Ivasa, a knockout win against Curtis Blades, a knockout loss to Tom Aspinall, decision loss to Alexander Volkov, and then a decision win against Jairzinho Rosenstruck. As far as Waldo Cortez Acosta, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, a knockout win against Lucas Bresky, a decision win against Andrei Arlovsky, a decision win against Verbelis de Spain, a knockout win against Ryan Spann, and then a decision win against Sergey Spivak in his last fight. So this is it's a weird one. And what the heck happened to Sergey Pavlovich? This is a guy who, up until the Volkov fight, it was all round 1 finishes. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, all finished in the first round, and then he gets knocked up by Aspinall, and then he goes and fights Alexander Volkov as a favorite, I believe, and just looked awful. He looked horrible in that fight. He didn't do anything. He did his best William Knight impression and didn't throw anything over the course of 3 rounds. There was no killer instinct. There was no coming forward. There was no landing big shots. And then he goes out there against Jairzinho Rosenstruck and wrestles. Turns into D1 Pavlovich. Wrestles him, takes him down, controls him, for multiple minutes over the course of the fight. And when the fight is at distance, doesn't throw anything. No killer instinct. Like, what has happened to Sergey? Where's the Sergey Pavlovich that we know and love that's going to go out there and swing his big dick in his opponent's face and knock him out? I haven't seen that Pavlovich in a couple years at this point, since the Blades fight. So I don't know, because if I'm betting Pavlovich, I want him to go out there and swing his dick. I don't want him to go out there and just dick around for 15 minutes, especially against Waldo, who's got to be the minute winner here, who's landing almost 6 strikes per minute. But I really think that Pavlovich needs to go back to his old ways and just go out there, go balls to the wall, kill or be killed. If he does that, I think he has a good chance of winning this fight. If he goes out there and tries to be technical for 15 minutes, he's going to lose, and he's a big favorite here. My goodness. So I don't know. I haven't liked what I've seen from Pavlovich as of late, but I think he needs to go back to his old ways here. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so Pavlovich has fought the better brand of competition up here at the UFC level. He's got the better wins at the UFC level, and he's got way more power on the feet. I mean, the guy's got crazy power, while Cortez is somebody who's landing 2 knockdowns in 8 UFC fights. He's only landing a knockdown on 0.3% of the significant strikes that he lands, while for Pavlovich, it's 3.2%. What's really tricky about this fight for me is the fact that Waldo Cortez Acosta has a brick for a head. He's one of the most durable guys in the division. I've seen this guy eat 50 calf kicks in a fight and never take a bad step. I've seen this guy get hit clean on the chin by some big hitters, and it doesn't bother him at all. I mean, like Verbelis de Spain was landing some big shots on Waldo, and he ate him like a chimichanga. So I don't know how easy it's going to be for Pavlovich to get this guy out of there, because you kind of got to figure that he's going to have to win the moments. because if he's not winning the moments, I don't think he's winning this fight. But the question is, will he wrestle? Right? We just saw it last time. And maybe after the Aspinall knockout, maybe in the Volkov fight, we were seeing a guy in Pavlovich who was coming off a knockout loss and decided he didn't want to take a lot of damage. So, and he had trouble finding takedowns and trying to close the distance against somebody like Volkov. Against Rosenstrike, he was able to kind of avoid getting bonked again. I mean, there's a possibility that this guy doesn't want to get hit anymore. And in the heavyweight division, you can only take so many shots before you start really getting scared about your brain health. These guys have concussive power at this division. So I think it's a really fascinating fight because now we have to actually start to consider, are either of these guys going to grapple? And we did see Pavlovich do that last time out. So, and Cortez's durability, I'm telling you, it's so good. So I think that these guys are actually going to be fairly well matched while it's a distance striking exchanges. It's just the question is, are we going to see that killer instinct out of Pavlovich again? Because it's been a minute since we have.
I don't want to live in a world where Pavlovich is a wrestler. I just don't. I don't want to live in that world. That's no fun. That's not fun at all. But yeah, I mean, I guess he could go to it. I don't know. But Pavlovich is decent size. He actually opened up minus 350. He's currently minus 225. Waldo opened up plus 285. He's currently plus 190. I kind of want nothing to do with this fight because I just don't know how Pavlovich is going to approach this fight. The over-under is set at 1.5 rounds. The over 1.5 minus 165. The under 1.5 is plus 135. Again, it's very tricky because Pavlovich cashed 8 unders in a row. But since then, both of his fights have went over and have really not been close at all to finishing. And Waldo does go over a lot as well. So it's a tricky total. It's a tricky money line. It's a tricky fight. I don't know. I wish I knew the game plan here for Pavlovich.
Just think about this, though, Brady, right? If any of these other fights, any of them, you would have said, how big it would a bet have been on a Sergey Pavlovich fight doesn't go to decision at minus 220, against Volkov, against Aspinall, against Blades, against Tuivasa. Those, I'll bet you anything that those fight doesn't go to decisions. We're sitting around minus 1,000. So I just find it weird that this one, it still feels like it's overpriced at minus 220 according to the data that we have available, right? So I feel like this might be a sneaky fight goes to decision bet here.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if I didn't see the Volkov fight I would be max betting the fight doesn't go at minus 210. But the problem is I did see those fights and I hated what I saw from Pavlovich. So yeah, it could be like a sweat free goes the distance if Pavlovich doesn't try.
Yeah, I don't think there's a sweat-free goes the distance. I mean, anytime Sergey Pavlovich throws a punch, you're going to be like, that guy, he's crazy. Remember those pictures that you were showing me of like him by the beach and stuff like that? And you're just like, dude, there's no way that you can just build that with some vitamins and prayers and a little bit of time in the weight room. I mean, my God, is that guy a mesomorph or what? And we got Torres Finney in the chat. You want to talk about a couple of bricked up human beings. Torres Finney, Sergey Pavlovich. I mean, like these guys have just got muscle on top of muscle on top of muscle on top of muscle.
I know. Let me pull up some pictures of the guy.
Jesus.
I don't know what he's wearing. I don't know what kind of swim trunks those are, but
it's probably 30 degrees below zero too.
Yeah, it's probably very cold. Very handsome.
Look at that head.
Yeah.
It's like an Easter Island statue.
It's crazy.
My God.
It makes no sense. Look at that.
Jesus Christ.
That dude can run through a house.
Are you getting hit by that dude?
No.
Oh.
Not at all. Yeah, he's a scary dude.
Very, very scary dude. But yeah, he needs to bounce back though a little bit.
He needs to do something, man. I mean, how many strikes did he land in that in the Rosenstruck fight? He landed 26 strikes. 26.
Yeah, that's not going to get the job done, man.
46 in the Volkov. I don't remember him landing anywhere near 46, to be honest. But he was credited with 46 strikes against Volkov. Landed
Usually
one,
he lands like 3 strikes and wins.
right?
You know,
Not good. Yeah, that's my concern. I could see this fight being boring, but I could also see it being like awesome. Pavlovich KO. Let's see here. No killer instinct. Yeah, he wanted to kill Volkov after the fight.
That's true.
What did I miss? Missed you guys. You missed quite a bit. I mean, the show's coming to an end here. I think Sergey was timid after the Aspinall, but he's over that. Sergey KO won. Yeah, he needs to get over it. Like that happened like 2 fights ago at this point, 3 fights ago. Let's see. Kind of like Waldo here. He's a big dog. Big dog. Loopy can KO Finney. Yeah, Loopy's hands were looking pretty dang good against Andrade.
They were looking good.
Oh,
yeah. She was landing everything. Every time she threw that straight right hand, it was landing. It was a nice performance by Loopy.
Oh, yeah.
KO Torres Finney. There might be a bridge too far, seeing as she has 0 UFC KOs in the women's strawweight division. But
KO liking the decision. He says decision or Brady has to pipe me on site. All right, you got yourself a deal. Finney saying wrestle. Let's go Pavlovich. Yeah. He's a human chode. Oh, you won't say that to his face. He's talking about Pavlovich. You won't say that to his face, man.
Yeah, say that to his face.
No.
In Russian.
Yes. Practice that Russian.
Last thing you ever say.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't recommend. The moment Pavlovich made out with Aspinall for 5 minutes, he lost all of his aura. Yeah, he did lose his aura. He had a ton of aura prior to that Aspinall fight. All the aura just completely vanished, and then after the Volkov fight, especially. Torres Finney's the man. More importantly, did you boo Bilal? No, like I said, I did not boo him. I heard everybody booing him, and I was like, "What's going on? Who are they booing?" And then people were like, "Bilal," and I was like, "What? Why? He's from here." So that was crazy. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be the co-main event. It is going to be a 5-round fight here. Brian Ortega, Aljamain Sterling. We got Ortega, 34 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. Sterling, 36 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. Ortega 2 years younger. Ortega with a 1-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. Brian Ortega is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. A decision win against the Korean Zombie. A decision loss against Alexander Volkanovski, a knockout loss to Yair Rodriguez, submission win against Yair Rodriguez, and then a decision loss to Diego Lopez. As far as Aljamain Sterling, he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A knockout win against TJ Dillashaw, a decision win against Henry Cejudo, a knockout loss to Sean O'Malley, decision win against Calvin Kattar, and then a decision loss to Movsar Evloev. So yeah, 5-round fight here, which is pretty awesome. Looks like Sterling around minus 250. Ortega plus 210. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this pretty high level fight? I know Brian Ortega, in the last several, he hasn't won much fights, but I mean, look at who he's fighting. We can't blame him. Diego Lopez, Alexander Volkanovski, Yair, Max Holloway. He's kind of been fighting the who's who. So yes, not the best record in the world, but fighting really high level guys, and he's going against another high level guy here in Sterling. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this one?
I like Sterling here, and it's because I'm worried about where Brian Ortega is right now in his career. I mean, like, remember when he was saying that he wasn't even going to cut to 145 pounds anymore?
I remember when he hurt his foot jump into the start of the fight. TKO'd himself.
I had almost forgotten about that. I didn't watch the second Yair fight. He won that fight too, man.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened. I think I don't remember if I had money on Yair or not, but I was like, yes, because I think I needed Yair either on DraftKings or with a bet. And yeah, I mean, like, that was wild. And yeah, I don't know if he wants to cut down to 145 anymore, And I think what Brian has always done really well in his career was put a pace on dudes. Just make them fight, stay in their face, throw a ton of volume. If you grapple with this dude, he is going to be able to potentially submit you from just about anywhere. And he would just kind of Homer Simpson these guys. He would just walk through all their best shots. He's extremely durable. He's got a ton of heart. He's got excellent conditioning, and he uses that conditioning as a weapon. And the further he would go in fights, he would kind of lose, win, finish, right? I mean, that kind of style works great when you're 27. But when you're 34 and you're already publicly talking about how you can't make the cut down to 145 anymore, now you got to go to China and fight Aljamain Sterling for 5 rounds. Somebody who's just so positionally strong on the mat, very much position over submission, phenomenal back takes. And he's actually going to be 2 inches longer than Brian Ortega with the reach, that is. So, I think that Aljamain's probably fighting at a little bit higher of a level at 36 years old right now, having moved up from 135 to 145, where Ortega still trying to stay down here at 145 when he's publicly having massive problems with the weight cut already. So, I mean, I think that this should be Aljo. I think that he's probably the more technical and crisp striker. He's certainly more accurate and defensively responsible than Ortega is. And, his ability to be able to win minutes in the grappling exchanges of his fights and win minutes there with that and bank rounds with it is a lot better than Brian Ortega's ever was. So, yeah, I mean, I do like Aljo quite a bit here. I think this is a great spot for him because, like I say, I think that Ortega's got too many injuries over the years, too many miles on the engine. And even though, Sterling has fought more and he's actually, probably taken a little bit more damage, it's just that Ortega's style requires him to take a bunch of damage in order to sometimes find that success. And Aljo's not going to do damage. He's just going to kind of suffocate you and win those minutes. So I think that it's going to be Aljamain Sterling by decision.
Yeah, and Aljo's not going to slow down. He can go 25 minutes, no problem. So, yeah. Sterling opened up minus 300. He's currently minus 245. Ortega opened up plus 250. He's currently plus 210. The over-under set at 2.5 rounds, which is kind of weird. But they set it at 2. Maybe they don't know it's a 3-round fight.
No, they took that off.
Oh, they did.
They took that off. So because they thought it was a 3-round fight, they initially set that over at 2.5 rounds. But it's a 5-round fight, Brady. So Bet Online pulled all the props when that came out and included the over/under. So we don't have any props or any time props on this fight.
Yeah, I see that now. Nothing. No props. No nothing. Okay. So yeah, I thought it's always been 5 rounds though. Was it not? I could have swore I saw it.
No, on as a matter of fact, I think on Tapology they're still showing it as a 3-round fight. So it was when it was if you watched, now they're showing it as a 5-round fight, but I can promise you earlier today even it was showing as a 3-round fight. So they finally got it right, and now that they've got it right, Bet Online realized that they had to pull their previous props and make it for now they got to reprice them for a 5-round fight.
Yep, which makes sense. Watch the total be 3.5. Yeah, it could be 3.5, could be even 4.5.
Yeah.
Sterling decision. Yeah, because Ortega's nearly impossible to finish. Unless he hurts himself. Jumping during the intro.
Oh, God.
2 grapplers, cancels out, ends up being a shitty kickboxing fight.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Ortega's going to remind the people why his nickname is T-City.
Triangle City.
We'll see. All right. It is time now for the main event. If you guys have not already, be sure to like the video. If we got, I think it was 250 tonight, I'll get a face tat. Let's see. I set the bar low tonight. Yeah, 250, I'll get a face tat, and we are not even close.
Oh, man.
113. So we hit the 100 mark, which we like to do, but no face tat by the looks of it. We need 250 by the time the show ends, and that does not look like it's going to be happening. But get those likes up, guys. We appreciate it. Do want to shout out the sponsor one more time, and that's going to be our guy Avery. I need to find the banner here. Shout out to Avery for sponsoring the show, guys. Go give him a follow, MMA_very. Avery's keeping the show alive. Without Avery, we wouldn't be here right now. If it wasn't for Avery Weezy, I would be sleeping right now.
Yeah, man. I'd be taping some fights probably, it's 11:42 p.m. here yet. I haven't had dinner yet. I'd be doing anything else but this. So thank Ja. For Avery, man. I mean, like, he is sent from Ja raining down his blessings upon us in the form of Avery. So thank God for him.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Avery, I'd probably be looking up string bikinis right now.
Strong bikinis.
Strong bikinis. Both. I'd be looking up strong bikinis, string bikinis, all kinds of bikinis right now. But since Avery's sponsoring the show, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And instead, we're talking some fights. So shout out to Avery for sponsoring the show. Guys, go give him a follow. Great guy. All right. Main event. And this breakdown is going to be a lot longer than the fight is going to be. But we got Ming versus Johnny Walker. Ming, 27, 6'2", 75-inch reach. Walker, 33 years old, 6'6" with an 82-inch reach. 6 years younger is Jong. He's going to have a 4-inch height disadvantage and a 7-inch reach disadvantage. Johnny Walker is 2-1 no contest his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Paul Craig. Decision win against Anthony Smith. No contest against Ankalaev. Knockout loss to Ankalaev, and then a knockout loss to Volkan Oezdemir. As far as Ming, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Brenton Hibero. Knockout win against Ozzy Diaz. Knockout win against Anthony Smith. Well, we can clearly see what the UFC is doing. I mean, it's no secret. They're having a fight in China with one of the scariest dudes currently in the division, Ming, who hits like an absolute truck, and they're pairing him with the chinniest guy in UFC history in Johnny Walker. They're trying to get Ming a first-round knockout win, and I think they're probably going to get it. So yeah, Ming KO1. I think it makes sense. It makes sense. He hits very hard, and Johnny Walker can't take a punch. Seems pretty simple to me here. If it does get extended, it could get interesting. Ming hasn't been out of the first round in a very, very long time. Maybe Johnny Walker tries to wrestle here. But I think the most likely scenario is that Ming KO1. The under 1.5 is disgusting. I don't think I've seen an under 1.5 this bad, like in a very long. The under 1.5 is like minus 300.
Is it really?
Yeah, minus 350 on a book, minus 375 on DK. Have you ever seen a under 1.5 at minus 375 ever?
Oh my God, no,
Holy
dude. Like for
crap.
instance, even in the 205-pound division for men, we've had 63 fights in the history of the UFC from 2013 on that have been scheduled for 5 rounds in the 205-pound division, and only 32% of them have went under. So you're paying 75% implied probability on this line at almost minus 300, which is 43% greater than the long-term trend for the division. And look, I mean, obviously Johnny Walker is one of the most, chinny dudes to ever set foot in a UFC cage. And I mean, let's face it, Ming got the biggest head I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
You could put a blindfold on Johnny Walker and he's going to have 70% head strike accuracy, just because like you could spin him around 3 times. You're still going to fucking hit Ming in the head. So it's really hard to picture this fight going over, man. Like, but every once in a while, somebody might get a little bit freaked out by the fight being 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And they might choose to kind of start, like take a little bit longer to get their reads. They're saying to themselves, I don't have to be in a hurry here. This isn't a 3-round fight. It's a 5-round fight. And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Brady, I'm pretty sure that Ming has never won a fight that's went past 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're correct.
All 19 of how many wins does he have? 19, and they're all first-round wins?
Yeah, and maybe he's a big fan of steak.
He could be.
Yeah.
I mean, they got steaks in China, right? I've never been there.
I believe they got to. They got to have steaks.
I mean, I know they got them in Japan. Japan's got that Kobe beef, and it is melt in your mouth, Brady. It is the best. But I mean, I don't know about the Chinese though.
I don't know. Well, maybe somebody in the chat knows. Oh yeah, they're saying China has a lot of steak.
A lot of steak, okay. Maybe he just wants a bowl of noodles or something with some carbs so that he, after cutting weight. I don't know. Minus 1,400. Fight doesn't go to decision here. We've seen Johnny Walker actually go to decision once in the UFC in a 5-round fight. Remember the Thiago Santos fight?
How could I forget? That was horrible.
Yeah, that was unbelievable, man. So, and somebody said it earlier in the room. What if Johnny Walker goes for a heel hook? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if he just by osmosis through his brother Walter winds up becoming, Husamar Palhares out there, and he decides to grapple? I think that's one thing that people haven't really looked at with this matchup yet is that, Zhang Mingyang's got a trash ground game. So maybe Johnny Walker trying to protect his chin might make this dude wrestle. And if he does that, there could be, a cheeky little submission. What is Walker by submission here? Walker by heel hook plus 900.
Maybe if they let Walter go in there for him, he can. Do you think they could do that? Maybe last second switcheroo.
They're not twins, dude. I mean, like I would pick that out easily. Dude,
Yeah.
Walter Walker looks like Frankenstein.
Do you want to hear something?
I don't think you're really mixing him up with Johnny, but
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I mean, like the decision props are plus 1,000 and plus 900 here. Mingyang Zhang's money line is minus 306, and his inside the distance prop is minus 300.
Mm.
Just like Julius Walker a couple of weeks ago. You remember inside the distance minus 600, money line minus 600?
Well, Julius likes steak though. And I'm sure he likes yachts and hoes.
Well, he got a decision win, and it got a little bit hairy there in the third round because Cerqueiro was tagging him, but he got, good job by him to get those takedowns and win those minutes on the ground.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going Zhang Mingyang, KO1. What's the KO1? Probably something horrible, right?
Oh, God. Minus 200, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know, dude, what they put it at. Let's see.
It's plus 100.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Zhang Mingyang round 1 is minus 115 in the round 1 KO plus 100. Yikes.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
Fun main event, though. Somebody's getting served.
Yeah, somebody's getting served in very brutal fashion. Very brutal fashion. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying for this fight here. Let's see. And by the way, I did do a poll on who's going to pipe their opponent on site because last week you guys nailed it, man. They had McCall.
Yes.
Yes. So shout out to you guys. We'll run it back. I put 4 out. Go vote for the who's getting piped or who's doing the piping. Let's see. It's been a great show tonight. Brady Raft, Boat, and Ho. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Michelle.
Not just
Pereira.
a singer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Not a one-trick pony over here.
Hell yeah, man. He's got bars like Guru.
Yeah, 100%. What's the fight starts round 2? We don't have that out yet, but the over 1.5 is plus 270.
You're gonna get some big plus money number on fight to start round 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. How to get an MMA YouTube host to go out with you? Oh, I don't know. Zhang Mingyang piping is pretty much. Then let's see the votes. Let's see the votes. You got KO1 plus 130. I think that probably hits. All right, we did it. We went through all 12 of the fights. It's been a fun show, but now it's time to get serious.
Yeah,
it's time to get serious, and we got to do the Stat Diggers parlay of the week. Last week, Chase the Gooner Hooper ruined it, and we got to get back on track here. So I think there's a couple, totals. Like I think there's some under 1.5s that are trash prices that I think hit. Like I don't imagine Kiefer Crosby being able to go 7.5 minutes. I don't really imagine Weston Wilson being able to go 7.5 minutes. I don't imagine, the Walker Zhang Mingyang fight to go 7.5 minutes either. We got some parlayable money lines as well. I'll let you kick it off here, Wheezy. Who is going to be your first leg for the Stat Diggers parlay of the week?
I'm going with Aljamain Sterling at minus 246. I think that he can be better than Ortega everywhere. I think he's fighting at a higher level right now than Brian Ortega, and I think Aljamain's in the right weight class and is a lot more healthy. and Brian Ortega's in the wrong weight class, and I think his body is failing him.
Okay, I'm going to take the under 1.5 in the Wilson fight, just because this guy hasn't been out of the first round in 13 fights.
Yeah, so you said like 2019 was the last time this
Yeah,
guy been out of a first round, and then
very long time.
2.5 minutes in the second round.
Yeah,
To get it if he comes out of the first.
Yep, so I like that. So we'll put those together, and it is plus money. Minus 170 for the under in the Wilson fight. And then the right now, currently, the Sterling money line's minus 246.
There we go. So that comes out to plus 123 on
All right.
Bet Online Sportsbook.
Let's hit it. All right, let's check and see where these, how many votes we got here. Oh, only 36. Wake up.
Wake up, guys.
36 votes. We have 223 watching on YouTube. 36 votes. Like, what are they doing? Are they?
I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing.
Like we should be at a hospital getting a goddamn IV right now after this weekend. Do you hear my voice?
Yeah,
It's trizashed.
yeah.
Normally I sound like I sound beautiful normally. Right now I sound like the old guy in Casino. It's like we talk about skimming the skim. Like I got nothing left, you guys. You want to help us out here?
Help us out. All right. So while they get off their ass and vote, we're going to talk about the milking, and we got some options, man. Like, let's see. I mean, Yiza could absolutely milk Weston Wilson. I mean, it would be a quick milking. It'd be a very quick milking, but you know, Weston Wilson, he's been subbed 4 times. He's been finished 7 times. Like, we don't typically see somebody get finished that many times. Yiza by milking makes sense. Michelle Pereira, you kind of would think it's maybe a piping. I don't imagine Michelle Pereira really milking Daukaus. What else we got here? Take a leak. I'd say more of like a piping, right? Let's see. Pavlovich would be a piping. Oh, Sterling can milk Ortega over the course of 25 minutes. I think the two options, Wheezy, are Aljamain Sterling, and then the other option would be Yiza.
Yeah, I'm on the Sterling side here just because of it just doesn't look like Ortega's healthy.
All right, we can do that. I'm down with that.
I mean, the other one's minus 1,200.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like we could do a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear. Yiza gets to minus 1,100. I'm fucking going 5 units. You know, but it's just at minus 1,200. It's just I cannot pay that. Minus 1,100, you're going to see your Uncle Wheezy in that pool and betting on that fool with that bullshit haircut.
There we go. All right. Okay. How do you spell gracious? Gray.
Gracious.
U.S. Okay. So here we go. All right. StreamYard's fucking up, dude. What are you doing, StreamYard? Okay, here we go. The stat digger's milking of the week is Aljamain Sterling. Did I spell Sterling wrong?
Yes. It's Ersterling.
I was thinking of Navajo Sterling for some reason.
Yeah, and that one is spelled, yeah, Stir, yeah. And then I think there's a couple other IR-lings, you know, but this is an ER.
ER, okay. That's right. It looked wrong. Okay. To milk Brian Ortega, oh goodness gracious. Sterling's gonna do it. He's gonna make up for what Chase Hooper did last week. Chase Hooper went out there. I don't know what he was doing. He was throwing like spinning back fists that were hitting the air. It was actually kind of sad to watch. He looked like a baby giraffe out there, Chase Hooper, which is weird. I mean, I don't know, but Sterling's going to make up for it. All right. Yeah, I mean, English is hard. English is hard. Zero's gooning. There you go. There you go. I know Chase Hooper has been gooning instead of working on that striking, man. Austin Hubard, potential as a big dog. Okay.
Yeah. He's a good grappler, man. I think Austin can make that a lot closer than what the lines think it is. And We got Torres saying that he could take down Dricus's coach. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he could drown Dricus on the mat too, from what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, nice to see Finney in here. Artem's been gooning. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Artem.
Gooning is like the new thing, apparently. All right. So let's see what you guys voted. And I'll ask you your thoughts as well, Wheezy. So we did 4 options. Who's going to pipe their opponent on site, right? We did Sergey Pavlovich. We did Take a Leak, Nurgozhay. We did Michelle, the captain, Pereira. And then we did Jong, Ming, Yong. So I'll ask you, who do you think the voters went with?
Oh, God, that's a good question. I think they went with Tayalak Nurgozhay because of Crosby being so bad.
Yes. To be honest, I think I like 3 of these 4. You know, I like Michelle Pereira to pipe. I mean, come on, Michelle. Let's show some effort this time. If he shows any effort, any willingness to give a fuck, I think he makes it look easy. But you know, I don't want to trust him with the piping of the week. Of course not. I think Take a Leak. I mean, just by default. I haven't looked into this. I haven't watched his tape yet. But by default, you're fighting Kiefer Crosby. You're gonna pipe him. It's by default. Yeah. But the voters actually picked Jong Ming Yong, and it wasn't really close. Jong, the Mountain Tiger Ming Yong, to pipe up Johnny Walker on site at 54%.
I could see it just because Walker's so chinny. And not only that, Min Yong Zhang can eat just about anything on the feet. The dude's got a crazy chin on him. He was eating flush shots in most of his UFC fights. I remember Hubard was cracking him, and he just smiled every time he got hit. So I think he's a lot more durable than Johnny. Fighting at home, he's got more power. He probably has more power on the feet too. So yeah.
Yep, the people have spoken. So if it hits next week, we're going to take all the credit. And if it does not hit next week, we're going to blame it on the voters. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Always gives us that easy out, Brady.
I think it's more than fair. But no, you guys got it right last week. I mean, that was a great piping. You guys said Mikhail Zajac would pipe up Jared Mearshart, and it did exactly that. VT's being a little weird. He's saying I'd hang out, but you bad boys attract me. Well, it's getting to that hour.
It is, man. It's midnight here.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we're gonna get off of here. Weezy, any final thoughts on the card, and also let the people know where they can support you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at MMA Wheezy. You can find me on YouTube, Uncle Wheezy's YouTube channel. I did not show up to do free content on YouTube last week, just too much going on. And we got a week off next week. So I'm definitely going to be back this week, probably Thursday night for just a tip at 10 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad that this 8-week stretch is coming to an end. This summer's been tough from a gambling perspective for me, but you know, I'm still putting in the work, and my Odds Shopper subscription at $25 a month gives you access to about as much information as you could possibly imagine for a sophisticated UFC gambler who's looking for statistics, betting models, fight write-ups, subscriber-only content for full card breakdowns and prop betting shows. It's all available at my Odds Shopper, oddshopper.com. Go to look for Uncle Wheezy there under the MMA boxing, and you're going to find some really, really great content there. Best way to support me. Shout out Avery for supporting the show. Shout out Brady for coming to see me in Chicago with Avery. We had a great time this weekend. And if we could do these UFC Chicago cards every year, Brady, I'll tell you, man, Chicago's going to keep showing up and showing out. We're going to keep selling out that United Center. And it's going to be right in the middle of this big, beautiful country so that everybody around the country can come here and enjoy fights. Dude, those nosebleed seats were packed.
Yeah.
From fight one. I mean, like, I don't know, like, how you could be in that arena and not say we need to be here once a year from now on. It's fucking crazy. And I know our politicians are dog shit, but the one thing that they like is money, and they can be paid off. So bring them here, pay them off. The Chicago fans will make it worth your while.
Bring them. Bring it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago was a fun time. And people were saying like the pizza's overrated. I thought the pizza was very good. It was very
Yeah,
good.
you got to see. That's the thing, man. You got to go. You got to have your Uncle Weezy show you around.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on. You can't just go out there and and think that they're going to give you their best if you're not with your Uncle Weezy. So we went to Lou Malnati's. We ate it there right out of the oven. It was delicious, Brady, and I
good.
thoroughly enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, even like deep dish stinks. I mean, I thought it was very good. Very good.
Probably an East Coaster, and that's all right.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. But we did it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just got out my Dana White's Contender Series video. Go check that out. And I'm going to be doing a live Fight Night Companion tomorrow. I did my first Fight Night Companion last week, and it did pretty well. I had like 800 people watching. So,
no kidding.
Yeah, so
for the Contender Series.
So people enjoyed it. People enjoyed the fight companions. I'm going to be doing it again tomorrow. So check me out there. I think the fights are kicking off at 8 Eastern tomorrow. Last week it was 7 because of the Ultimate Fight. Yeah, 8 Eastern tomorrow. So I'll be doing the fight companion at 8. Come check me out. Some live commentary, some fun, a good time, and yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, looking forward to the week off as well. Need a couple days to just relax for a second. Just take a relax, because 8 weeks in a row, it definitely does catch up with you. So yeah, guys, though, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the night, and we will talk to you guys soon. See you later.